Chapter 383. At the same time, Fan Ping was fleeing frantically in the underground drainage pipe. He was in trouble now. He just wanted to get some low-ranked energy stones, fill up his storage space, and leave. Who knew that after a while, the guards from the catacombs arrived? Fan Ping did not think of blowing up the mineral veins. In fact, he could not do it. Low-rank stones had low energy purity, so it was difficult to explode, even with mentality. What a coincidence! Yesterday, a large amount of life essence was released, and the energy concentration in the mining area increased a lot. Fan Ping also scattered a large amount of energy essence in the mining area later, causing the energy concentration in the outer mining area to be extremely high. The energy mineral veins were originally very high, and now it was even higher, probably not much worse than the core area. This was like the high gas concentration in a coal mine. In fact, everything would return to normal after 2 more days, and it would not cause an explosion at all. The people of gigantic Willow City did not expect Fan Ping to come again today. Even if he came, he just had to throw the high-ranked energy stones as a bomb. Now, it caused a chain reaction. A large amount of energy was ignited, directly igniting the surrounding areas with high energy concentration. Fan Ping himself was blown up by the huge energy explosion, and his injuries were not light. Not only that, the explosion spread along the periphery all the way to the core area with more energy. Seeing that it was about to cause an even more intense explosion, Willow Tree Monster finally could not hold it in anymore. Countless roots retracted from the outer city, causing a large area of the outer city to collapse. Not only that, in order to suppress the energy explosion, Willow Tree Monster had to cut off the connection between some of the exploding mineral veins and the core area. Strong mentality spread to the ground and began to seal and shield the energy explosion. The high-intensity energy explosion even blew up a lot of the roots. This time, Fan Ping had completely angered the other party. For hundreds of years, Willow Tree Monster had not suffered such a loss. In its anger, it could not care about continuing to guard the inner city. Willow Tree Monster's roots uprooted from the ground, and in its rage, it followed the direction of the energy explosion and chased after it personally. When he felt the monstrous momentum in the distance, Fan Ping really wanted to pee in his pants. He did not intend to blow it up. He did not expect the energy mine to be blown up so easily. If it was so simple, human Grandmaster powerhouses would have come to blow up the city even if it meant risking their lives. However, he had blown up the outer city. Fan Ping did not know what else to say. It was true that a high concentration of energy could easily cause an explosion, but didn't it not explode yesterday? Yesterday, he also detonated it once. Why didn't it explode yesterday? Fan Ping had forgotten that there were a lot of high ranks among the people who went after him yesterday. The moment the life essence exploded, those high ranks had used their mentality to suppress the signs of explosion. If there were still a few high ranks keeping watch in the underground today, it would not be so easy to trigger a large-scale explosion. In the end, there was only one high rank in the city right now. He had not entered the ground yet, but was on the ground for interrogation. The Willow Tree Demon guarded the inner city and did not care about the outer city. After a while, Fan Ping really did blow up the energy mine. At this moment, even though only some of the low-grade veins in the periphery had caused explosions, as the explosions rang out, it also triggered a chain reaction, and large-scale collapses appeared in the outer city. The Willow Tree Monster happened to be enraged again. It rose from the ground. This explosion was even more serious than the one caused by Fan Ping. The Willow Tree Demon, which had not moved for 100 years, was now almost one with the inner city. In its rage, it rose from the ground, causing a large number of buildings in the inner city to collapse. In its rage, the rank 9 plant monster did not care about the catacombs humans anymore. It had long been infuriated by this little bug. Yesterday, Fan Ping had stolen its life essence, which had already made the Willow Tree Demon want to kill him personally. Now, it had indeed done so. F***ck, so fast! Feeling the momentum behind him getting stronger and stronger, A wave of mentality that shook the void, sweeping in all directions. Fan Ping's face was deathly pale. He did not even enter the inner city because he was afraid that the willow tree demon would attack. What was going on now? A rank 9 was chasing after him. The enraged willow tree demon not only swept its mentality, but also a large number of roots, constantly sweeping in all directions. The entire underground was almost swept away by it. So what if there was no aura? As Fan Ping ran madly, there would always be some movement. As long as it crushed all the way, no matter where that little bug hid, he would not be able to escape death. Under gigantic Willow City, Fan Ping fled frantically. In the city, a large number of residents were also fleeing. The tutelary had gone mad. Following the willow tree demon's movements, a large number of buildings collapsed, crushing countless ordinary catacombs humans to death. That was not all. Under the sweep of mentality, the willow tree demon would not care so much. There would always be some unlucky ones who were swept by the mentality and instantly turned into mud. A large number of roots penetrated the void, and also penetrated many catacombs humans. In the sky above the city, the rank 7 chieftain was silent like a cicada in winter. However, when he saw that the tutelary was a little crazy and was still chasing after him, he could not help but shout, "Tutelary, the royal city is about to collapse!" The willow tree demon withdrew its own roots, and the underground was swept clean again. At this moment, a large area of collapse had occurred. In the distance, an extremely strong force soared into the sky, rushing in this direction. The willow tree demon also knew that Willow King had returned. However, it was still far away. It might still need some time. Perhaps it was worried that the royal city would really collapse. The willow tree demon's movements quieted down, but it still could not hide its anger. An extremely strong mentality swept in the direction where Fan Ping was fleeing. Along the way, almost all living creatures died in an instant. At this moment, the willow tree demon did not care about these people's lives at all. It did not care if it killed a group of people by mistake. The mentality swept in one direction, constantly sweeping. So strong! At this moment, Fan Ping no longer cared about hiding his voice. The mentality wave behind him that almost suffocated him made Fan Ping's expression change drastically. As the mentality swept in the way, the ground collapsed, the mud and stones shattered. Fan Ping even saw some mine rats that were not affected instantly disintegrated. Although he himself was still some distance away from the mentality wave, at this moment, he also felt that his mentality was being torn apart. Fan Ping gritted his teeth. As he ran madly, he constantly replenished his wealth. However, no matter how much he replenished, he could not withstand it. His mentality was still being torn apart continuously. Mother ***, how is this possible? Fan Ping's face was full of disbelief. How far had he run? The monster tree was at least 10,000 meters away from him. 10 kilometers. From so far away, the mentality wave had actually torn his mentality to pieces countless times. How could it be so strong? A rank 7 powerhouse's mentality could cover about 30 to 100 meters. Actually, Fan Ping did not know how far a rank 8 could cover. Compared to a rank 7, it was not much stronger. 300 meters? 500 meters? 500 meters at most. At rank 9, how could it be so strong? Was Wu Chuan this strong? Absolutely not. Not only Wu Chuan, Fan Ping suspected that the others would not be this strong either. This tree was definitely a little too much of a freak. The mentality attack behind him was still sweeping in. Fan Ping did not dare to stop, running madly. At this moment, the rank 7 powerhouse finally sensed Fan Ping's movement and chased after him. In its rage, the tutelary did not care about other people's casualties and launched the strongest mentality wave. At this moment, the ground collapsed, everything turned into dust. Under such circumstances, Fan Ping's whereabouts were a little conspicuous. With such heavy losses and the tutelary so furious, if he still could not catch the thief, he would not be able to answer to the king. Almost half of the outer city had collapsed. In the inner city, countless buildings had collapsed too. There were not many martial artists who were injured or killed in the explosion. The tutelary had probably killed thousands of people. Among them, many were martial artists. Just as the rank 7 powerhouse attacked, the towering tree trunk shone brightly, bursting with rays of intense light. Willow Tree Monster did not move anymore, but it refused to give up. Its mentality spread out continuously. At this moment, the distance was even further. Willow Tree Monster was no longer here to kill, but to guide the way. When mentality was not used to attack, but to investigate, it could be released even further. It was not that easy for Fang Ping, who was running vigorously, to avoid detection. Fang Ping's face was pale. His mentality had been shattered so many times that his head was dizzy. I just stole some low-ranked energy stones that you guys don't want. Why do you have to do this? The little bit I stole is not even enough for you guys to blow up yourselves? Is there a need for that? For this little bit of energy stones, the rank 9 tree monster personally chased after him, not caring about its reputation at all. Have you ever seen the boss of a coal mining company personally chasing after a little bit of stolen leftovers? Boom! Fang Ping was still running. In the sky, the rank 7 powerhouse attacked. A palm slammed down from the sky, and the ground cracked. A large amount of gravel came crashing down. Fang Ping's footsteps did not slow down at all, rushing straight through the gravel. His body was cut by the broken gravel. Where's Old Manly? Fang Ping was close to tears. At this moment, he was targeted. It was difficult to hide even if he wanted to. Yesterday, he could hide in the city because there were many underground passageways in the city. These rank 7 and 8 powerhouses did not want to destroy the royal city. But now, Willow Tree Monster had destroyed more than half of the outer city. Since they had already suffered heavy losses, this rank 7 powerhouse no longer had any scruples. With the determination to kill, he attacked without holding back. A large number of passageways collapsed. If this went on, once there were no more obstacles, the surrounding passageways would be blocked, and he would die without a doubt. Fang Ping did not think that he could really run faster than a rank 7, and that he could fight against a rank 7 martial artist. Just as Fang Ping was running, about 30 li outside of gigantic Willow City, Qin Fengqing and the others who were also running had their mouths wide open. What the hell was that towering tree, that big tree that exploded with a huge light? Is this the tutelary monster plant that they were talking about? It should be. Didn't they say that we can't move? Who knows? I can feel the pressure from so far away. It's gigantic Willow City. Did our people attack the city? 30 li was not considered close. The distance was extremely far. However, that big tree was still so dazzling, so suffocating. Qin Fengqing swallowed. He actually wanted to attack the city. He must be tired of living. If he angered the other party, he would not even know how he died. Luckily, we didn't court death. Qin Fengqing looked relieved. Previously, he had heard the catacombs martial artists talk about the tutelary monster plant. Of course, it was just hearsay. The guy who threatened him, who might be the mayor, was quickly beaten to a pulp by them. They were just hearsay. Who would take it seriously? However, at this moment, Qin Fengqing was extremely glad. Next time, he would not even think about entering the catacombs city even if he was beaten to death. Other things aside, with such a huge physique, it could crush them to death. It was too terrifying. Beside him, Li Hansong ran madly without a sound. Were you sure you weren't courting death? Behind them, there were still hundreds of catacombs martial artists chasing after them. They had been in the catacombs for 3 days. They had been running for 3 days, almost without a moment's rest. At this moment, Li Hansong could not be bothered with what was happening in gigantic Willow City. He just wanted to find a place to rest. He was really tired. If word got out, probably no one would believe that a rank 5 powerhouse would die of exhaustion on the road. 3 days. Running for 3 days. If not for his strong physique and the fact that he had absorbed a lot of energy stones, he would have died of exhaustion long ago. being chased by a few rank SIXs and a large group of rank 4s and 5s. What kind of experience is this? This thought came to Li Hansung's mind. He remembered Wang Jinyang's words again. A martial artist who was not chased was not a good martial artist. Now, he was considered a good martial artist, right? Maybe, from the beginning, I should have followed Fang Ping. At least I wouldn't have to run for 3 days and 2 nights. 30 li was actually not too far from gigantic Willow City. For Fang Ping and the others, the highest speed they could reach was close to 100 meters per second. If they ran as if their lives depended on it, they could run more than 10 li in a minute. Of course, running this fast usually could not last long. However, the potential of humans was always limitless. When faced with a life-threatening crisis, nothing was impossible. When Li Hansong had this thought, a loud roar came from afar. "Old Li, save me!" At this time, Fang Ping could not care less about exposing his whereabouts. He was being targeted. At this moment, he had already run out of gigantic Willow City. He did not drill anymore. Because his speed was very slow, he was almost shocked to death a few times. However, no matter how fast he could not outrun a rank 7. At this moment, the rank 7 powerhouse in the sky attacked him with a cold, murderous intent, wanting to kill him on the spot. The roar was also to let Old Man Li know where he was. At most 30 seconds he would be caught. If he was caught, then he would die. This roar came faintly from afar. Li Hansung's expression froze. Wang Jinyang's expression changed slightly. Qin Fengqing, on the other hand, had a look of realization. He said quickly, "F***ck, I knew it. He must have gone to their lair. Stop talking nonsense. He's being chased. Same for us." "It's not the same. The one chasing him is a high rank." As soon as Wang Jinyang said this, Qin Fengqing's expression changed drastically. He growled, "Quick, change direction." The next moment, Qin Fengqing did not even think about it. He turned around and ran from the side. As for rescue, don't be ridiculous. If they went there, they would be dead meat. Wang Jinyang did not hesitate either. He turned around and ran with him. This kid Fang Ping was more capable than them. They had to get away quickly, or else they would all die. Li Hansong subconsciously ran with the two of them. After running for a while, he could not help but say sadly, "We're not going to save him?" These people were crazy. Qin Fengqing said that Fang Ping might have gone to their lair. He did not quite believe it. Even if he went, he thought that Fang Ping would still be lurking in the dark. However, thinking of the explosion earlier, the towering trees rampage, and now there was a high rank chasing him. Was this considered lurking? This was really going to destroy their lair. Save my ass. Run quickly. The further the better. Qin Fengqing's face was red. This time, he really did not hold back and started to work hard. If he was caught, he would be dead. As for Fang Ping, who knew if that guy would die? Even if he died, there was nothing he could do. He was even more arrogant than him. What the hell did he do to gigantic Willow City? He had provoked that big tree to explode. When Li Hansong heard this, he also realized that he had asked a stupid question. If he could not save Fang Ping, they would only die together. Now, he could only pray that Fang Ping would quickly turn around and not run in this direction. Previously, he had thought that it was amazing that they were being chased by a rank 6, but now, Fang Ping was being chased by a high rank. And it was not just one. That tree had been chasing him before, right? It was too scary. Fang Ping was still alive now. Li Hansong found it hard to believe. May you guys were really tough. If I don't die this time, I won't go into the catacombs with them next time. No, the next time there's a catacombs with them, I won't come even if you beat me to death. No, not only the catacombs. Next time, even if they're above ground, I won't join in the fun. All kinds of thoughts flashed through Li Hansung's mind. It was too exciting. It was so exciting that he could not stand it. He originally thought that Qin Fengqing and Wang Jinyang were considered weirdos. Now it seemed, they were insignificant. Chapter 384. Just as Fang Ping roared, a streak of golden light dashed toward him at high speed. As soon as the explosion sounded, Old Man Li knew something had happened. At this moment, Fang Ping had just finished shouting. The golden light was extremely fast, rushing over quickly, shouting, "Coming!" In the next moment, Fang Ping leaped into the air and grabbed Old Man Li's shoulder. "Kill him!" Fang Ping panted violently, glaring angrily at the rank 7 chasing behind him. Old Man Li did not say a word, flying quickly toward Qin Fengqing and the others. "Bring them along and run!" Fang Ping was puzzled at first, followed by a look of horror. "What did you do?" At this moment, 2 golden lights flickered in the distance, in addition to a few rank 7 auras soaring into the air. Old Man Li was also being chased. "I'd been chased for a long time." Old Man Li was also helpless. First, a rank 9 was chasing him. Finally, he met Zhao Xingwu, but he was taken away. In the end, before he could return to the city, he was stopped by 2 rank 8s from gigantic Willow City, along with a few rank 7s. As for Zhou Dinghua and the others, it seemed that they were still being chased by the people from gigantic Pine City. In short, in the catacombs now, human martial artists were all being chased. No, Zhao Xingwu might be chasing after Willow King. Old Man Li had already felt the aura, but perhaps it would be reversed soon. If Willow King joined forces with that big willow tree, perhaps old Zhao would also have to escape. Humans are so miserable! Such a thought flashed through Old Man Li's mind. The sorrow of the weak. They were all being chased. How miserable! As for gigantic Willow City in the distance, half of it had collapsed. Old Man Li pretended not to see it. It was not him who did it. These were all trivial matters. The golden light was extremely fast. In a flash, it grabbed the 3 people on the ground in an instant. However, they did not feel the slightest bit honored. Qin Fengqing's face was full of pessimism. He turned his head and looked, saying sadly, 2 rank 8s, 5 rank 7s, they're going to die. If they were caught, they would definitely die. I've provoked a few rank SIXS, and I'm already scared. What are these 2 guys doing? The key is that when you run, don't run this way. Now, it was great. Old Man Li was also a little anxious, shouting, "Give me something to drink!" Old Man Li was also a little anxious, shouting, "Give me something to drink!" Fang Ping's expression darkened. He said angrily, "No more! People will die! It's over even if you die! You brat, you caused such a huge commotion! Could it be that you didn't get it?" Old Man Li was a little surprised. "You almost destroyed their city. Did you not get the life essence?" Fang Ping said helplessly. "What's there to snatch? I accidentally blew up the energy mine when I went in. That giant tree went crazy and chased after me. Don't even mention it." Li Hansong was dumbfounded by the conversation between the 2 of them. At this moment, Li Hansong could not care less about the people chasing after him. He hurriedly interrupted. "What mine did you blow up?" "Energy mines, don't you know? There was a large energy mine under Royal City that could extract at least a few thousand tons of energy stones, maybe even tens of thousands of tons. I was going to dig a little, but I accidentally blew up a part of it." The other 3 were stunned. "You really went to mine?" Even Qin Fengqing, who thought he knew Fang Ping very well, could not help but ask, "You've been mining these days?" "No, I've been chased by people. I snatched some energy essence, and was almost chased to the ends of the earth. I just entered the city this morning to do some small things and dig up some worthless common goods. I didn't expect that rank 9 giant tree to fly into a rage and insist on killing me. Common goods. Tens of thousands of tons of energy stones. Tons! Not grams! Even if it was grams, it was enough to make them drool. Now Fang Ping was using tons to measure it. Was this brat kidding? Wang Jinyang thought that he was a rather steady person. At this moment, he gulped a little, his eyes flashing. Is there really a big mine? Yes, a royal city is a mine. They're all super big mines. Let me tell you, there are low-purity energy stones everywhere, just like rocks. Just pick them up casually, that's a few hundred caddies. But this time, I blew up a lot of low-purity stones. It's a pity that I blew up at least a few hundred meters of mine tunnel. I don't know if those energy stones were destroyed. Fang Ping lamented. This is actually nothing. In the core, there are plenty of cultivation-aiding energy stones the size of millstones, not to mention the ones the size of a human head. In the core, those are not energy stones, but energy essence. Do you know? It's all energy rivers and waterfalls, at least a few tons. That purity is about 100%. If you throw a person in and it doesn't explode, even a pig can become a rank 9. The few of them were lost in their fantasies. An incomparably huge energy vein. Countless high-ranked energy stones. There were also energy rivers. Just thinking about it was too wonderful. At this moment, Li Hansong suddenly felt a little inferior. Once upon a time, he thought that snatching a lot of energy stones with Qin Feng Qing and the others was a magnificent feat that he could brag about for many years. Now that he thought about it, don't mention it, it was too embarrassing. Fan Ping continued to narrate, sighing. What a pity. Just now, I saw a low-ranked energy stone the size of a millstone. I wanted to take it away, but I couldn't. Later, it even exploded. It weighed at least 1 or 2 tons. Listening to Fang Ping's tons and tons, the few of them were dazed again. Since when did energy stones start to be described as tons? Gulp. The sound of saliva being swallowed was heard. Old Manly sighed at the wrong time. Don't think about it, you little bastards. Think about how we're going to run. Behind them, the figures were getting closer. 2 rank 8s and 5 rank 7s. If they caught up, they would definitely die. Seeing that Old Manly could not outrun the other party, Fang Ping's face was full of grief. He pretended to take off his clothes, only to realize that he was naked. With a dry cough, Fang Ping glanced at the few of them. Without waiting for Ironhead Li's reply, he tore off his shirt and wrapped it around himself. Only then did the few of them realize something. Li Hansong murmured. You! Why are you running? Why are you running naked? If you want to run, then run. Why did you take off your clothes? At this moment, the few of them were huddled together. When they thought of Fang Ping facing them just now, especially Li Hansong, they shuddered. What kind of special hobby was this? Fang Ping was too lazy to explain. He wrapped himself in his clothes, then felt around behind him. A small drop of crystal-clear life essence was on his hand. He said painfully, Eat a little. Try your best to run. Old Manly looked at this small drop of life essence and could not help but scold. So little? Don't be discontented. It's at least 1 gram. It's better than 5 grams of high-ranked energy stones. Yesterday I ate a few caddies. Now you're letting me eat this little? There's really nothing left. As the two of them spoke, Qin Feng Qing and the other's eyes turned green. What rich energy! They did not need to eat it. Just by feeling the energy that emanated from it made them feel like they were walking on clouds. It was too rich. This was only 1 drop. What was Old Manly talking about? How many caddies did he eat yesterday? Mother ***, how extravagant was this? They were ashamed of themselves. They were too ashamed to show their faces. Even when they sucked a thumb-sized high-ranked energy stone, they still felt like their flesh was being cut. How many good things did this kid Fang Ping snatch? The next moment, Qin Feng Qing could not care less about the danger. He struggled to reach out his hand to touch Fang Ping. Fang Ping grabbed his hand and scolded. What are you doing? Fang Ping, Uncle Fang, let me drink a mouthful. Just 1 mouthful. Where are you hiding it? I'm dying. Save me. Just let me drink a mouthful. Qin Fengqing's face was full of desire and excitement. Let me drink a mouthful. Just 1 mouthful. Maybe I'll be peak rank 4. Li Hansong swallowed, too embarrassed to say anything. Wang Jinyang, on the other hand, said in a deep voice. Fan Ping, at this time, We don't know if we can survive. Let us drink a mouthful and recover our strength. Even if we die, we have to kill a few to break even. Yes, 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 Li Hansong immediately added. I'll drink a mouthful too. Just one mouthful. Let's go kill the enemies. It was too tempting. They had never seen something like this before. It was the essence of energy. Even if they did not drink it, they knew how good it would be just by thinking about it. Their eyes were red. Qin Fengqin had already started sticking out his tongue to lick Fang Ping's finger. There was still one drop. One lick would be worth at least 5 million. Thinking of this, the few of them suddenly thought of something. Where did Fang Ping hide this thing? He was not even wearing clothes just now. He suddenly touched his back. Qin Fengqin, who was still sticking out his tongue, suddenly retracted it. Where did he hide it? Where else could he hide something on the back of a human body? Their expressions kept changing. They were tempted, but they also thought of where Fang Ping was hiding. They looked like they were struggling. Could this still be eaten? Fang Ping, this bastard, was too disgusting. However, such a small drop was at least 5 million. Moreover, it was not the kind that money could buy. The value did not mean that it could definitely be bought. Fang Ping did not care so much. With a face full of vigilance, he stuffed his finger into old Li's mouth and stirred it. Then, he wiped it on old Li's body and warned, "Stop fooling around. We haven't run away yet." The few of them looked like they were struggling. Seeing old man Li swallow the thing nonchalantly with a satisfied look on his face, they felt a little disgusted. Did old man Li know where Fang Ping took it out from? If he knew, would he still eat it so happily? Fang Ping did not think too much at the moment. He said, "There's no more. There's none left. I drank it all yesterday. I drank a few caddies. Old Li drank at least 100 caddies. Why don't you guys bite him and see if there's any left?" Crunch! An ear-piercing sound was heard. Qin Fengqin tried to take a bite, but the ear-piercing grinding sound was heard. Qin Fengqin covered his mouth and tears flowed out. It was too king painful. He felt a little disgusted when Fang Ping took it out. However, he felt that it was okay when he tried drinking the old man's blood. There was nothing disgusting about it. He did not expect it to almost break his teeth. Old man Li unleashed his maximum speed again. He was a little tired. "I can't even be bothered to make a sound. Bite if you can. If you can bite through it, you're awesome." Seeing that the few of them were almost forgetting that they were being hunted, Wang Jinyang finally calmed down and said hurriedly, "Instructor Li, you've broken through?" Although old man Li was not an NMAU instructor, Wang Jinyang knew all the powerhouses who came to Nanjiang to help. Li Changxing was not this strong before. Moreover, when Qin Fengqin bit it, there was a crunching sound. This was considered a golden body, right? But breaking through. Rank 6 to rank 8? Where was that? After he said that, the others finally reacted. They had almost forgotten about this after the excitement just now. Qin Fengqin and old man Li were very familiar with each other. At this moment, he said with a face full of shock, "Don't tell me you've become a rank 8 after eating a few hundred caddies of this thing?" Having said that, he looked at Fang Ping and asked, glaring at him, "What about you?" Fang Ping said lightly, "Rank 5. F***CK. Qin Fengqin really could not hold it in anymore. He did not care where Fang Ping took it out from. In order to break through the ranks, martial artists would do anything. Not to mention that it was taken out from there, even if it was pooped out, he would still dare to eat it. Unable to suppress his excitement, Qin Fengqin growled, "Fang Ping, give me a little, just a little, not much. Just let me break through to rank 5. This is a miracle medicine." Not only him, but the other two were once again aroused with endless desire. The rank 6 Li Changxing became a rank 8 in the blink of an eye. The rank 4 Fang Ping became a rank 5 in the blink of an eye. If this was not a miracle medicine, what was? Especially Li Changxing, he had reached the sky in a single bound. Before this, they had heard of this rumor. Unexpectedly, the rumor had become a reality. The few of them were emotional, completely forgetting about the pursuers behind them. They could die without regrets after hearing the truth in the morning. Now that Fang Ping had given them a little, they would feel that it was worth it even if they died. Fang Ping was helpless, saying weakly, "There's really no more." "I don't believe it. It's up to you whether you believe it or not." As Fang Ping said that, he patted Old Manly, saying helplessly, "Hurry up, the life essence in your body is definitely not used up. Why are you dragging them around? Let's find a place to hide first." Old Manly had really swallowed a lot yesterday. Even if he had reconstructed his golden body, Fang Ping felt that there would definitely be some left. The old man was not willing to explode now, he must be waiting for Fang Ping to bleed. Did this old man still have a conscience? He only had a little left, yet he did not let it go. Where was his conscience? Old Manly heard that and sighed, saying, "There's really not much left?" He did not ask if there was definitely some left. If this kid Fang Ping was willing to spend it all, he would not believe it. "There's no more left. Looks like there's really not much left." Old Manly sighed. The little left in his body was not enough to nurture his mentality. However, Fang Ping was not willing to bleed anymore, so it was hard to deceive him. Without another word, Old Manly's body emitted a brilliant golden glow. A powerful burst of energy erupted, and in the next moment, his speed increased by 30%. Qin Fengqing's eyes turned red again. Such powerful strength, such powerful energy. It's infuriating to compare myself to others. Qin Fengqing looked helpless, but very quickly, he regained his fighting spirit. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. What was the reason why Fang Ping could get so many things? It was because of breath control. "Fang Ping, how about teaching me breath control? I'll pay 1 million as tuition." "Get lost." 5 million. "Are you getting lost or not?" 10 million. Qin Fengqing's eyes were red. He had learned all the tricks. Fang Ping could not be bothered with him. He turned around and glanced, waving at the few people in the distance. Goodbye. After what he had done to gigantic Willow City, he would not be able to go back in the short term. If he went again, the monster tree would tear the city apart and tear him into pieces. Fang Ping still had this thought in mind. It was not easy to make a trip to the city, but it ended up like this. Fang Ping was regretting it now. If he had known, he would have kept it down. That mine was originally his personal mine. Now, it was hard to say. "There are other cities in the catacombs." "No, I'm afraid they're all guarded here. Next time, I'll go to Skygate City or other places to steal." As he thought of this, Fang Ping looked at his storage space that was half full again, feeling slightly regretful. It was such a pity that he could not fill up a space. Just like stones, the energy stones that he had randomly thrown on the ground did not even fill up his storage space. It had to be said that he had really suffered a loss this time. "Kagu!" At this moment, a roar that pierced through the void rose from afar, shaking the void. That roar that was filled with anger and murderous intent made Fang Ping shudder involuntarily. Forget it. He really could not go to gigantic Willow City. Willow King was probably going crazy. Gigantic Willow City had countless casualties. More than half of the city had been destroyed, and a large section of the underground mine had been blown up. At this time, if the other party did not self-destruct out of anger, it would be considered as a powerhouse with a good mentality. If it were someone else, they might really explode out of anger. Fang Ping shuddered, and the others were not much worse off. They all quietened down and looked at each other. This time, they had really offended the city lord. The next time they met, the other party would not treat them like ants. He would definitely kill them. One had to know that a catacomb's rank 9, even if they met some weaklings, they might not kill them. Then, the few of them looked at Fang Ping. "This is your enemy. We've only killed some martial artists on the periphery." Fang Ping seemed to know what they were thinking. He said lightly, "He has never seen me before. He did not even feel my aura." You guys, on the other hand, I'm afraid you've really been remembered. The King of Willow had never seen them before, but these guys had been hunted down for so long. Their appearances and auras were definitely remembered by the people. If he wanted to kill someone, he would kill them first. Even if Fang Ping stood in front of Willow King, he might not know that Fang Ping was the one who destroyed his royal city. Their expressions changed instantly. Li Hansong wanted to cry but had no tears. I promise I won't come next time. Not only did he not get many benefits, but he also took all the blame. He was only a rank 5. Being targeted by a rank 9, how would he dare to come again? Fang Ping also sighed a little, muttering, I have a little too many enemies in the catacombs. 3 rank 9s, a few rank 8s, a bunch of rank 7s. Willow King, Willow Tree Monster, these two must kill him. Skygate City Lord, Fang Ping must kill the other party. These 3 rank 9s were irrevocable enemies. They had not reached rank 9 yet. It was a little dangerous. They were speechless at the same time. Even Old Man Li did not say a word. You are the only one in the world. Many martial artists, when they were middle-ranked, did not even have a chance to fight a high-ranked. You, on the other hand, have a bunch of rank 7s and a few rank 9s. Chapter 385. Boom! A violent explosion came from gigantic Willow City again. The furious Willow King and the big Willow Tree sensed Zhao Xingwu's aura. They did not care that they were in Royal City anymore. The big Willow Tree uprooted, countless branches like arms, whipping the void. In Willow King's rage, he gathered the endless energy in the sky and guided it into his body. With a thunderous strike, the void exploded, and a second sun exploded. The 2 rank 9 powerhouses exploded in anger. Even if Zhao Xingwu was extremely strong, he was still sent flying dozens of miles away. Without another word, he broke into a run. Crazy. Were the Nanjiang Catacombs powerhouses crazy? He had seen the 2 rank 9s unleashing their full power. The ground was torn apart, the city walls collapsed, and countless catacombs people died instantly. So brutal. This was his first time entering the catacombs, right? Were all the powerhouses here like this? No wonder Oljing said that the Nanjiang Catacombs battle was extremely tragic. With the current situation, it was strange that Wu Chuan was still alive. The rank 9s did not even care about their own lair. They risked their lives when they saw anyone. It was really fortunate that Wu Chuan did not die. Zhao Xingwu was dumbfounded. Really, he had fought a few catacombs before. However, it was rare to see a city lord and a monster plant that risked their lives. He only chased after them to take a look. He did not think about risking his life. However, the other party did not say a word. They did not care about the people's lives. When they saw him, they unleashed their full power. They were too warlike. If it were other catacombs, he could understand. Everyone had been fighting for decades, hundreds of years, and there were heavy casualties. But here, he had just arrived. But who collapsed the city? Looking at the faint golden glow in the distance, Zhao Xingwu suddenly thought of something. He muttered, That's not right. When I first met Li Changxing, what happened to him? Zhao Xingwu was completely confused now. Li Changxing did not die. Then, he lured a rank 9 over. This rank 9 did not surround and kill Wu Chuan. Instead, he went after Li Changxing. This was a very strange place. Logically, if the other party wanted to kill someone, they should be going after Wu Chuan. For powerhouses, they would usually surround and kill the strongest first. The rest were all meat on the chopping block. However, the rank 9 he just met did not. Instead, he chose to kill Li Changxing. Could it be because Li Changxing killed the other party's rank 8? In addition, the enemy's city had been destroyed. Who could destroy the enemy's city when there was a demon plant guarding it? Wu Chuan. That wasn't right. He could still feel Wu Chuan's aura. It was far away. Li Changxing did it? Li Changxing could destroy a city right under the nose of a rank 9 monster plant. Zhao Xingwu was deeply puzzled. Forget it, he did not care anymore. These two rank 9s were in a berserk state now. This was his first time entering the catacombs, not to fight to the death, but to gain a foothold. At this time, there wasn't much meaning in risking one's life. Moreover, after he left, the two rank 9s did not chase after him. They just guarded their lair. What did this mean? Not going to the passageway? Not fighting anymore? The situation in the Nanjiang catacombs is really hard to understand. Zhao Xingwu had been to many catacombs in his life. He had been to almost all of the 23 catacombs in the country, including this one. Nanjiang's catacombs, on the other hand, was a little unfathomable. It was filled with a strange aura. In the city closest to the passageway, the two rank 9s in the city had actually retreated and stopped fighting. This was strange. Zhao Xingwu shook his head. Forget it. He did not care anymore. He would go and help Wu Chuan. Then, he would think about it after returning to the passageway. More than an hour later. At the passageway, Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu were bewildered. After a while, Zhao Xingwu could not hold it in anymore. He asked, "What's going on? Not fighting anymore? They're letting us build a city just like that? Is there a conspiracy?" It was not that easy. In the past, when opening a stronghold in the catacombs, the other party would not give up until they were powerless. This was because the catacombs had the advantage of time and place. Humans could not send too many powerhouses. Otherwise, more powerhouses would be drawn out. Therefore, under normal circumstances, there were only 1 or 2 rank 9s who entered. The second person rarely made a move, mainly to prevent the other party from making the first move. What about now? The situation in the Nanjiang catacombs was not good. Only when the two cities joined forces did Zhao Xingwu enter and make a move. However, Zhao Xingwu felt that he did not fight, and then no one came to attack. On one side, they were guarding the lair and not coming out. On the other side, they were also rushing back to the lair, unwilling to come back again. Wu Chuan was also at a loss. He frowned. Maybe there's a conspiracy. But let's not care. The most important thing now is to occupy the passageway and open a stronghold. The longer we drag this out, the more advantageous it is for us. As long as the passageway is completely stable and we're guarding this place, then our people can come and go as they please. When that time comes, we can attack and defend at will. It's better than now. Everyone took the risk to enter the catacombs for the sake of the safety of the rear. Previously, they were worried that the catacombs people would go out first, so they risked their lives to enter. Now, not only did the catacombs people not go out, but they were also guarding the lair without moving. Then, they would not take the initiative to look for trouble. They would just wait and see who could outlast the other. Although both of them did not quite understand why exactly, this was a good thing. If every catacombs person was so reasonable, then maybe they would not even have to fight. Thinking was one thing, but both of them did not dare to relax. Wu Chuan was even more afraid. He did not forget the importance this side placed on the passageway on the first day they entered. They turned out in full force. They almost surrounded and killed all of them. If it was not for Li Changxing's outburst in the end, killing a rank 8 and messing up the situation, yes, Li Changxing. Wu Chuan suddenly said, "What's going on with Changxing?" Zhao Xingwu looked at him with a puzzled expression. "You're asking me? I haven't asked you yet. What was going on with Li Changxing?" Both of them looked at each other, their heads aching. What was going on? They did not understand the current situation. At the same time, 600 li away from the passageway, 300 li away from gigantic Willow City, a few of them crawled out from underground cautiously. Looking at Fan Ping's familiar look, Li Hansong could not hold it in anymore and said in a low voice, You dig holes pretty fast." Fan Ping glanced at him and said lightly, "It's a necessary skill for mining. If you don't know it, it means that you're inexperienced. Look at Qin Fengqing and the rest. Who's not good at digging holes?" Qin Fengqing did not think there was anything wrong with it. He spat out a mouthful of mud and shook his head, saying, I haven't dug holes in a long time. Why, you've never dug a mine before? When he said this, Qin Fengqing saw that Li Hansong was a little strange. He clicked his tongue and said, "It can't be. I've dug a few times as a rank 3, but I didn't manage to dig anything." "You've never dug before?" Li Hansong felt ashamed of himself once again. It turned out that digging holes was a professional skill. He actually did not know how to do it. It was too embarrassing. As he said that, Li Hansong looked at Wang Jinyang. Nanjiang's catacombs had just opened. "You don't know either, do you?" Wang Jinyang chuckled softly. "Don't listen to their nonsense. Digging holes is mainly to avoid being hunted down. Our aura is too obvious. It's just a hole that's tens of meters deep. Most rank 7s will have a hard time finding us. In other words, I know how to dig holes too. I'm quite skilled at it." "Do the other catacombs survive like this?" Li Hansong suddenly felt a little sorry for them. It turned out that the other catacombs' environment was so harsh. In his entire life, he had only been to capital cities' catacombs. Over there, martial artists were not like this. Over there, martial artists fought head-on. Over there, it was rare to be chased by others. It turned out that capital cities' catacombs were different. Old Manly glanced at him. "Idiot! Who King relied on digging holes to survive? These little bastards were too reckless." They were hunted down all the time. From rank 3 to rank 5, they were still being hunted. How many of them were like this? In other catacombs, including Magic City's catacombs, even if humans went out of the city, they would not go too deep. Now, it had become a tug-of-war. There were not many times when they went deep into the enemy's territory to be hunted down. Did you think everyone was like these 3 guys, provoking high ranks when they had nothing better to do? Looking at Li Hansong's expression of admiration and sympathy, Old Manly felt that this guy should go back as soon as possible. Otherwise, sooner or later, he would not even know how he died. These 3 people were used to being hunted down. They had experience in how to run, how fast to run, how to save energy, and how to maintain combat strength. Li Hansong obviously lacked this kind of experience. At critical moments, whoever ran slower, who lacked experience, would be the first to die. No one cared about Li Hansong anymore. Fang Ping exhaled and said, "There's no way to go to Gigantic Willow City anymore, but I know the location of Gigantic Pine City." Old Manly shook his head and said, "The battle between rank 9s has stopped." In the battle between rank 9s, the energy tide surged. Even if there was no movement, there would still be a reaction. Right now, there was no movement at all. Fang Ping's expression changed. "The people in Gigantic Pine City have gone back too?" "Probably." "Then what should we do?" Fang Ping's head hurt. He rubbed his chin and said, "Why don't we go to Cretaceous City? The monster plants guard the city, and their roots are densely spread underground. Actually, it's very dangerous to dig a hole to get there. Monster Life Clan, on the other hand, is not so troublesome." The other 3 people did not quite understand what he was saying. Old Manly shook his head and said, "First of all, when humans enter the catacombs, they will never take the initiative to provoke Monster Life Clan. This is an iron law, except for the capital city catacombs. Second, Monster Life Clan, do you think they don't have any tricks up their sleeves? There are monsters living underground too, and some of them are extremely strong. I've encountered monsters living underground, high-ranked ones, and a whole nest of them." Fang Ping swallowed his saliva. Based on experience, having an old man at home was like having a treasure. He did not realize this, or rather, a large amount of wealth had made him forget this. That was true. If Monster Life Clan did not have any capital, would the underground energy mine not have been emptied by others long ago? There were high-ranked monsters underground, and they were more difficult to deal with than monster plants. Monster plants, in any case, only had their roots underground. In reality, they still lived on the surface. Like the willow tree monster, it could not unleash too much of its strength underground. It could only unleash its strength within the range of its roots. Monsters, underground monsters, were professionals. In terms of tunneling ability, Fan Ping was no match for it. If he really encountered one, he might be killed immediately. Fan Ping's head hurt again. He thought hard and said, "Who should we rob now?" Li Hansong could not hold it in anymore. He said immediately, "Are we still going to rob? Why don't we go to the passageway? Didn't Instructor Li say that the rank 9's battle has stopped? Why are your thoughts so unique? Why are you only thinking about who to rob? There is no place to rob." These fellows actually looked very lost, completely forgetting that they could go back to the passageway. Their main purpose for entering was to build a stronghold, was it not? Now that the rank 9's battle had stopped, Instructor Li also said that reinforcements had arrived, and Alliance leader Zhao was here. At this time, meeting up with the rank 9's was the safest. When Qin Fengqing heard this, he was stunned for a moment. Then, he said unwillingly, "No! How about this, we go and rob a few more towns?" "No, Instructor Li is here. Let's go and rob a small city. I know the location of a small city. It's the one we went around last time. Let's rob that one." Fan Ping asked with interest, "Is it far from gigantic Pine City?" "About 80 li away. It's a little close." Fan Ping frowned slightly. The rank 9's speed is too fast. They've broken through the speed of sound. In the catacombs, because of the rich energy, the speed of sound traveled slower. But Fan Ping felt that there was still a limit of 300 meters per second. A rank 9's all-out effort might be able to run 80 li in 3 minutes. It was very scary. Previously, Willow King was fighting at the passageway entrance. The distance was close to 500 li. Under the situation of all-out effort, the other party rushed back in less than half an hour. Of course, this kind of extreme speed, even for a rank 9, was enough to choke. However, 80 li, for Willow King, who was extremely angry now, no matter how great the damage was, he might still come back to kill. Within a radius of 300 li, everyone should take it easy. Old Man Li sighed faintly. The few of you had killed so many martial artists, destroyed so many villages and towns, and even destroyed half of the royal city. If you move around now, Willow King might not even defend the city anymore. He would kill these guys even if he had to risk his life. Don't tell me we should go back? Fan Ping thought about it and sighed. Then let's go back first. Having said that, he looked at the others and said, "You guys wait. I'll go get something. Instructor, bring me there." Old Man Li knew what he wanted to do. He nodded and said, "Then we'll go. Don't run around. We'll be back later." Having said that, he grabbed Fan Ping and left. After the two of them left, Qin Fengqing said with a deep expression, "Guess how many good things did he hide?" Looking at the small bag on his body, Qin Fengqing knew without looking that there were about 20 grams of cultivation-aiding energy stones, about 200 grams of normal ones, a certain number of medicinal herbs, and a certain amount of metal that was kneaded into a ball. After calculating, the harvest was not considered low. It was still worth 30 to 50 million. Moreover, in these 2 days he had also absorbed a lot of energy stones. In 3 days he had earned quite a lot. Wang Jinyang and him were about the same. Li Hansong had slightly less because he did not rob as fast as them. As for Fan Ping, how much did he rob? Li Hansong thought about it and said, "He was hunted down so badly. I don't think it's a lot. No matter how many good things there were, they had to be able to carry them." Fan Ping was being hunted down by high ranks. How many could he have hidden? The few of them talked for a while. Very soon, Fan Ping returned. At this moment, Fan Ping had changed back into his own clothes. He had a chang now at his waist and carried an incomparably huge animal skin bag on his back. Of course, it was not too full. However, the three of them could not help but be shocked by the heaviness of the bag. Don't tell me it's energy stones. It's books, isn't it? It's normal metal, isn't it? It's beast meat, isn't it? Fan Ping did not care about them. He carried the animal skin bag and walked back, saying regretfully, "There are energy stones everywhere. High ranks are all over the ground. I only carried a bag of normal energy stones back. I've really suffered a huge loss this time. Bang! Qin Feng Qing was sent flying by a punch from Fang Ping. This guy is crazy. How dare you rob me right in front of me? Qin Feng Qing was crazy. Even Wang Jinyang was jealous. He had never seen anyone carrying energy stones in an animal skin bag in his life. Even Enemyu's inventory did not have that many. They were both human, both rank 5. No, Fang Ping was only rank 4 previously. They had been here for 3 days. The gap was too big. He wanted to rob too. Robbing Fang Ping should be easier than robbing the catacombs royal city. So, energy stones can really be described as carrying on your back? At this moment, Li Hansong did not want to rob him. He was just at a loss. In capital city, grandmasters would sometimes joke when they went out, saying, "I'll wait for you to carry a bag of energy stones back." Of course, it was just a joke. But now, reality told him that it was not a joke. Energy stones could be described as carrying a bag on his back. Fang Ping stared at them like a tiger watching its prey and shouted, "Stop fooling around. My bag is nothing. Under the royal city, there are mountains of energy stones. I can carry as many bags as I want. It's not a problem to fill a train. You guys, don't be so narrow-minded. You're so ignorant." Behind him, Old Man Li swallowed quietly. He had seen a lot, but in all his years, other than MCMAU's warehouse, he had never seen them anywhere else. If Fang Ping was not one of them, he would have knocked Fang Ping unconscious and robbed him. This might not even be all of Fang Ping's. At least, he did not see any life essence. Chapter 386. After deciding to return to the passageway and meet up with the rank 9 powerhouses, they did not delay. However, along the way, Fang Ping was extremely vigilant. Qin Feng Qing noticed him glancing at him a few times. He could not help but fly into a rage out of humiliation. "I'm not planning to snatch." The key was that he could not snatch. Right now, he really could not beat Fang Ping. He was sent flying by Fang Ping with one punch. Needless to say, he was miserable. Fang Ping ignored him. He grabbed Old Man Li's shoulder and reminded, "Be careful. We're not out of danger yet. If I'm not mistaken, there will be enemies ambushing us on the way back to the passageway." This place was 600 li away from the passageway. Human martial artists, no matter how far they ran, would definitely return to the passageway. The reason why he was so sure that there was an ambush was because his wealth did not increase. This meant that they were actually not out of danger yet. As soon as Fang Ping finished speaking, Qin Feng Qing and Wang Jinyang were extremely fast. They grabbed Old Man Li's arm instantly. Although Old Man Li was not a true rank 8, his speed was extremely fast. He was not slower than a rank 8. Following him, they ran even faster. Li Hansong was a beat slower. Seeing that the three of them had grabbed Old Man Li's arm, he looked embarrassed. He stepped forward and grabbed Old Man Li's arm, saying apologetically, "Teacher Li, you've worked hard." Old Man Li did not waste any time. He raised his guard. As for Li Hansong's slow reaction, he would get used to it. He was unlike those three brats. As soon as he said there was danger, they could not wait to stick to him. Fang Ping's mentality spread out. While detecting the situation, he said in a low voice, "If there's no rank 8, can we kill them? If the ones ambushing them were rank 7, there might be a chance to kill them." Old Man Li shook his head slightly. He said in a low voice, "It's not a crushing advantage. It's not a siege either. It's hard to prevent the other party from escaping. Right now, even one-on-one, he might not be able to kill a rank 7 powerhouse." Fang Ping felt a little regretful. He sighed softly. "You killed a rank 8 as a rank 6. Now you've become weaker." Old Man Li was speechless. He could not be bothered with him. After thinking for a while, he said, "My fist and leg skills are average. When we get back, make a divine weapon longsword for me. I'll nurture it for a while. I'll show you when we get back. Speaking of divine weapons, Fang Ping's interest was piqued. He asked hurriedly, what are the requirements to forge a divine weapon? A divine weapon was very powerful. Zhou Xingyang's self-destruction with a divine weapon was comparable to the self-destruction of a Grand Master. Zhou Xingyang, who wielded a divine weapon, was extremely powerful. Back then, Zhou Xingyang had fought 5 against 9, and Zhou Xingyang's contribution could not go unnoticed. Divine weapons are also known as illusory weapons. Just like the materialization of mental energy, they can be both illusory and real. The most important raw material is actually related to mental energy, Old Manly said in a low voice. At the very least, we'll need a rank 7 high-ranked monster's heart core and brain core to be melted into one. Some precious rare metals were added, and many other supplementary materials were added. For example, the bones of high-ranked demon beasts, the tendrils of high-ranked demon plants. Finally, high-ranked martial artists would use their own mentality and vitality to nurture and integrate it into their own bodies. This was a divine weapon. In other words, a divine weapon is equivalent to a complete high-ranked demon beast or demon plant. Fang Ping whispered. Then can middle-ranked martial artists forge it? You're thinking too much. Right now you're not qualified enough. You can't control it. Old Manly shook his head. Divine weapons are usually activated by celestiality. I should be able to use it, but I might not be able to unleash the divine weapon's full power. As for you, it'll be difficult to control it. Even if you get it, it might not be better than the current bandit-slaying saber. Chaos-vanquishing saber. Fang Ping corrected himself. It had been renamed a long time ago. After saying that, Fang Ping said again. If that's the case, a divine weapon is worth more than a high-ranked monster's carcass? Of course. It's quite expensive. Did humans kill a lot of high-ranked monsters? Very few. Generally, humans would not go out of their way to hunt those high-ranked beasts. Some high-ranked beasts would gather in groups. The catacombs was a big enemy that had yet to be dealt with. If they killed the monsters now and caused them to go on a rampage, they would be provoking a big enemy for no reason. Of course, very few did not mean there were none. Some powerhouses would enter some dangerous places to explore. Sometimes, when they encountered them, they would also hunt them down. Moreover, in the catacombs, some powerhouses had monster mounts, or partners. Some human powerhouses also had mounts. Fang Ping had heard about this before, but usually only rank 9s had them, and there were not many of them. Some of the monsters that were hunted came from these people. Over the years, humans had also accumulated some stocks. There were not many martial artists who owned divine weapons, but there were not too few either. There were usually rank 9s, but not necessarily rank 8s. Rank 7s depended on family background and luck. Old Manly heard that and laughed. It's quite expensive. Fang Ping, think about it. How about getting me a sword? Old Manly felt that he might not be able to afford it. He was too poor. But Fang Ping was rich. An authentic tycoon. Everything else aside, energy stones and life essence were all worth a lot of money. If he had enough life essence, it would be enough to exchange for a divine weapon. Fang Ping's face darkened and he said nothing. Old Manly was also eyeing his little gold vault now. Was he not embarrassed? Fang Ping, think about it. If I have a divine weapon, killing rank 7s is like killing chickens. Killing rank 8s is not impossible. Killing rank 9s? Alright, Old Manly felt that he could not boast anymore. If he continued, he was afraid that his heart would explode if Fang Ping really provoked a few rank 9s for him. It was not impossible. The possibility was very high. No money! Fang Ping did not want to pay attention to him. He said, Right, do the Grand Masters of MCMAU have divine weapons? None. Old Manly shook his head. He was poor. Even Wu Quishan, although he was the Vice-Chancellor, it did not mean that he was rich. Vice-Chancellors were also very poor. Just look at the Grand Masters who entered this time. Zhou Xingyang was the only one who had those who were below rank 9. Why? He was rich. Upright Sun martial arts dojos were all over Nanjiang and all over the country. In total, hundreds of martial arts dojos might have them. It was not difficult for a martial arts dojo to earn tens of millions a year. That was $1 billion a year. Upright Sun martial arts dojo had been open for many years. Zhou Xingyang's net worth might not be 10 billion, but he definitely had a few billion. Others did not have his net worth. Moreover, Zhou Xingyang would also enter the catacombs to hunt. Speaking of divine weapons, Fang Ping thought of Zhou Xingyang. Among the rank 7 grandmasters, Zhou Xingyang seemed to be the only one who had a divine weapon. Fang Ping thought of it. So did Wang Jinyang. Fang Ping knew a little about the situation of the grandmasters' battle. Wang Jinyang, however, had left long ago. These days he had been hiding from the pursuers outside. He really did not know the specific situation. From the time they met until now, he did not have the time to ask. At this moment, when Fang Ping mentioned the divine weapon, Wang Jinyang suddenly said, "Instructor Li, during the battle that day, how are the other grandmasters doing now?" Old Man Li shut his mouth instantly. Fang Ping did not care. He said softly, "I don't know about the others. Director Zhou died in battle. When he left, Zhou Xingyang had already self-destructed." "Died, in battle?" Wang Jinyang's eyes dimmed instantly. There were rumors in the streets that Wang Jinyang was backed by a grandmaster, not the NMAU vice-chancellor. That was not a rumor. It was a fact. And that grandmaster was not someone else, but Zhou Xingyang. Actually, it was not a secret. When Wang Jinyang had just entered rank 1, he was short of money. There were not many missions in Nanjiang. To earn money, working as a part-time instructor in a martial arts dojo was a faster way to earn money. And Nanjiang's largest martial arts dojo was Upright Sun Martial Arts Dojo. During the process, the old and the young saw eye to eye. Zhou Xingyang felt that he was a promising talent, and gave him a few pointers. It was not too much care. Grandmasters would not specially take care of those geniuses. Even Fang Ping, even in MC Meiyu, was not considered special care. What should be given to you would be given to you. What should not be given to you, you had to fight for it yourself. Geniuses were geniuses not because they reaped without sowing, but because under the same fair conditions, they could obtain more for themselves. However, it was a fact that Zhou Xingyang thought highly of Wang Jinyang. Whether Wang Jinyang went south as a rank 1 or rank 3, Zhou Xingyang's existence reduced a lot of obstacles for him. A peak rank 7 powerhouse with a divine weapon was not much less influential than a typical rank 8. Otherwise, a single NMAU vice-chancellor might not be able to let him go north smoothly. Many people were walking the path of invincibility. However, these people who walked the path of invincibility, if you looked closely, you would realize that they all had powerhouses supporting them. Without powerhouses supporting them, you could fight whoever you wanted? You could humiliate others just because you wanted to? You could fight someone of the same rank, but others had to fight you of the same rank? You were just a low-ranked martial artist. Where did your confidence come from? Zhou Xingyang was not Wang Jinyang's instructor, nor was he his relative. They could barely be considered friends despite the difference in age. The older generation powerhouses favored and took care of the younger generation. Even so, when he heard the news of Zhou Xingyang's death, Wang Jinyang's heart still ached. Dead? His instructor was trapped in the catacombs and barely made it out alive. His friendly and honest elder had also died in the catacombs. What about the vice-chancellor? The governor? Nanjiang's high grandmasters. What about the others? Was this the tragedy of the week? Fan Ping's figure appeared in his peripheral vision. At this moment, Wang Jinyang suddenly felt jealous and envious. He did not even know what he was jealous of. However, he felt an indescribable pain in his heart. My instructor's life and death are unknown. My friend died in front of me, yet I can do nothing about it. Become stronger. I'm not strong enough. There was no moment when Wang Jinyang desired to become stronger more than he did now. If I were a grandmaster, if I were a rank 8 or rank 9, then my instructor would not have fallen into the catacombs that day, and Director Zhou would not have died in the catacombs. At this moment, Wang Jinyang was silent like a volcano that was about to erupt. Sensing that the atmosphere was not right, Fang Ping did not say anything else. Although he was also from Nanjiang, he started his martial arts journey in Charm City. The powerhouses and elders that he was friends with were all in Magic City. Li Changxing, Lu Fengru, and the others were still alive. The change in Wang Jinyang's emotions made him understand that Zhou Xingyang might be related to Wang Jinyang. He did not ask about the specifics. That day, Old Man Li almost died in the battle. He felt bad too. When a martial artist that you were unfamiliar with died in the battle, you would admire, sympathize, and feel sad, but you would not feel the same sorrow. When a martial artist that you were familiar with or a family member died in the catacombs, you would no longer feel admiration, only helpless sorrow. Following Wang Jinyang's silence, the others did not speak anymore. The talkative Qin Fengqing still behaved carelessly, as if he did not care about anything. However, scenes flashed through his mind. Sorrow only belonged to the weak. He, Qin Fengqing, did not want to be weak. He did not want to be sad all the time. A long time ago, his father died in the catacombs. His mother washed her face in tears, which lasted for many years. After he grew up and entered MCMU, he felt more sorrow and helplessness. Entering the catacombs, his captain died in the battle, his teammates died in the battle. Later, his father's instructor, half of his own instructor, the old man, also died in the battle. Setbacks, sorrow, and helplessness after setbacks made Qin Fengqing understand that the root of everything was that he was too weak. Therefore, he wanted to become stronger. He wanted to use all means to become stronger. His aptitude was not too good. Very few people knew that he, Qin Fengqing, was a once-honed martial artist, unable to achieve twice-honed. However, as a once-honed martial artist, he had achieved something that many people could not achieve in their lifetime. Before he graduated, he had achieved rank 4. Moreover, he had a chance to achieve rank 5. This kind of progress made people forget that his martial arts aptitude was average. His progress today was obtained by risking his life again and again. Outsiders only knew that he, Qin Fengqing, was very arrogant and savage, daring to go hundreds of miles into the catacombs as a rank 3. However, those guys did not think that he could cultivate to rank 3. How could he be stupid? Was it not dangerous to go deep into the catacombs? It was very dangerous. However, only by going deep would he have a chance. In Magic City, if he did not go deep into the catacombs, there would not be many gains in the periphery. If he did not venture deep into the catacombs, perhaps he would still be wandering around rank 3 now. How could he achieve upper stage rank 4 so quickly? Before rank 3, his progress was not fast. He was still rank 1 in his sophomore year. However, after rank 3, his progress was faster than before. How many people cared about this? Martial arts powerhouses each had their own stories, and each had their own source of motivation. Today, Qin Fengqing had long been used to hiding all kinds of emotions. Powerhouses did not need outsiders' sympathy. In the silence, Old Man Li started approaching the passageway at lightning speed. Fang Ping, who had been releasing his mentality, suddenly felt a jolt in his head. He growled, "Run!" Before his voice died away, 2 golden silhouettes appeared in a flash. Old Man Li was already on guard. He had no intention of fighting. His body erupted with powerful energy waves. His feet leaped into the air, and in the blink of an eye, he passed the 2 rank 8's encirclement. Further ahead was where the passageway was. As long as he was within 100 miles of the passageway, these catacombs powerhouses would not dare to continue chasing, unless a rank 9 attacked. In terms of strength, Old Man Li might not be comparable to any rank 8. However, if he only ran and did not fight, it would be difficult for rank 8 powerhouses to surround and kill him. Unless he was really blocked. Old Man Li only ran and did not fight. The two people behind him were also hot on his heels. Waves of powerful energy waves attacked from behind. Fan Ping and the rest did not keep silent anymore. They moved one after another. A few of them hugged each other tightly, scurrying to the front of Old Man Li. They could not withstand a rank 8's attack. Old Man Li's back exuded a strong golden glow. Regardless, he continued to run. At this time, the slightly sorrowful atmosphere from before had dissipated. Amidst the chaos, Qin Fengqing was still in the mood to curse. He scolded in a low voice. "Ironhead, don't block me! Block Fan Ping!" At this moment, the four of them were entangled together. Fan Ping was at the front, hugging Old Man Li's waist tightly. The three people behind him were also holding on to him, not daring to let go. Li Hansong was the outermost. Hearing Qin Fengqing scolding, he said helplessly, "You guys are faster than me. What can I do?" Qin Fengqing and Wang Jinyang's movements were not slow. The moment Fan Ping hit in front, these two fellows immediately circled to the front. He was the last one. If he did not stay on the outside, how could he squeeze in? Qin Fengqing mumbled, not scolding anymore. Forget it. It was good that this fellow was the outermost. If someone came from the front, he would be the first to die. He did not care too much even if he was blocked a few times. Old Man Li, who was carrying 4 people, was not slow either. To a rank 7 and 8 powerhouse, the weight of a few people was nothing. Even if these fellows were quite heavy. While running, Old Man Li exuded a strong vitality force, reminding the rank 9 at the passageway to come and support him quickly. Not long after, there was a response. In front, 2 powerful auras rose. Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu had already sensed the situation here. Following the movement of the 2 auras, the pursuers at the back gradually slowed down. "We're safe!" At this moment, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Chapter 387. Before the person arrived, Fan Ping quickly checked the growth of his wealth. Wealth 11. 98 billion vitality, 1,800 calories, 3,999 calories, mentality, 560 Hz, 729 Hz plus, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 6 bones, 90%, 23 bones, 30% plus, storage space, 1 cubic meter energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute. So little? Fan Ping suddenly let out a muffled humph, his face full of dissatisfaction. "What?" Qin Fengqing answered immediately. Fan Ping could not be bothered with him, but he was cursing in his heart. "I brought back a lot of energy stones, okay. There were at least 300 to 400 caddies. Of course, there were not so many in the animal skin bag. If there were 400 caddies, that would be 200,000 grams. Now that his wealth had only increased by 10 billion, did that not mean that it was only about 50,000 per gram? This meant that the purity of the energy stones he brought back was really very low. There were so many of them, but their value was only 10 billion, not to mention that there were still some high-ranked energy stones mixed in. Fan Ping's original plan was to bring at least tens of billions worth of energy stones. Now, more than half of it was gone. "I worked myself to the bone, risking being hunted down by a rank 9, and in the end, this is what I gained." Fan Ping lamented in his heart. As for the number in front of him turning black instantly, he did not care. If it turned black, then so be it. How could he level up without it? This time, the speed of leveling up was much faster. Fan Ping initially thought that if he wanted to level up the system, he would have to wait until the company grew bigger and had completed financing. Now, it seemed like he did not need to go through so much trouble. Fan Ping was still talking when the golden body powerhouse behind him had completely retreated. 2 figures also descended from the sky, landing instantly. "Changxing!" Wu Chuan saw Li Changxing, and his mood improved a lot. Li Changxing was still alive. When he saw Fan Ping and the others, Wu Chuan was really a little surprised. All 4 of them were alive. After all, among those who came that day, these 4 little fellows were the weakest. He did not expect them to be all right. At this moment, Wu Chuan was full of doubts, such as why was Li Changxing still alive, and if he was alive, how did he break through to rank 8? No, Wu Chuan faintly felt that something was wrong. Was Li Changxing really rank 8? However, this was not the time to ask questions. Zhao Xing was said quickly. Go, return to the passageway first. The few of them did not delay, and quickly flew towards the entrance of the passageway. Seeing Fang Ping and the other 3 pestering Li Changxing like koalas, Wu Chuan could not help but say as he flew. Perform flight step on your own. The other party isn't chasing after us. The few of them acted as though they did not hear him at all. If they were to fly by themselves, wouldn't they have to expend their blood and qi? Furthermore, if they flew too slowly, they might fall behind and get chased by others. Even Li Hansong didn't want to fly anymore. It was too tiring. These few days, he was really exhausted from running. A few minutes later, they arrived at the entrance of the tunnel. Zhou Dinghua, who was guarding the area, heaved a sigh of relief. He could not help but look at Li Changxing. This guy really didn't die. It was fine if he didn't die, but what was up with that golden body? At this moment, Li Changxing's entire body was shining with golden light, appearing especially dazzling. Old Man Li looked reserved. He landed on the ground with a smile and did not say much. Fang Ping noticed the inquiring expressions on their faces. He chuckled lightly and said, Instructor Li hasn't achieved rank 8 yet, but she has forged a golden body in advance. In addition, her mentality injury has also recovered. Wu Chuan could be considered the person who understood Li Changxing the best. The rank 9 who diagnosed Old Man Li back then was Wu Chuan. At this moment, upon hearing this, Wu Chuan could not help but ask, Her mentality injury has recovered? Changxing, what exactly happened? Old Man Li saw that his cheapskate senior was asking questions. Just as he was about to speak, Fang Ping answered, Actually, it's not difficult to recover. Break and rebuild. That day, Instructor Li slashed with a sword. Her body was smashed, and her mentality was almost obliterated. After that, I saw that Instructor's condition wasn't too good. I brought her to the Fountain of Life under the royal city to take a bath. After that, she was fine. The 2 rank 9s were silent instantly. After a while, Zhao Xingwu coughed softly. Fountain of Life? You mean those liquefied energy essences? Fang Ping's pupils contracted slightly. The expression in his eyes changed a little. He smiled and said, Senior Zhao, you've seen them too? Does our government have quite a lot of them? Zhao Xingwu smiled without saying a word. Wu Chuan shook his head and said, Energy essences are hard to come by. The government doesn't have many either. All these years, we've gotten some, but not much. Under normal circumstances, only rank 9 tutelary monster plants can gather them. Once the war starts, these energy essences will either be absorbed or consumed. At the last moment, it's normal for them to self-destruct. The military department has a little, but it's very little. Can energy essences recover mentality injuries? Wu Chuan really did not know about this. Fang Ping smiled. I'm not sure about that. Drinking a few hundred caddies should be enough to recover. How much? A few hundred caddies should be enough. The corners of Wu Chuan's eyes seemed to twitch a little. He ignored Fang Ping. MC Miyu's Fang Ping had always liked to exaggerate his own battle achievements. He knew it. As if he would believe him. Wu Chuan looked at Li Changxing. Old Man Li said with a reserved expression, Not that much. 1 to 200 caddies should be enough. Also, a lot of it has been wasted. I think if we really want to heal, maybe 30 to 50 caddies will be enough. At this moment, Wu Chuan suddenly felt like killing these 2 fellows. Are you sure you're not here to sing a 2-man show? Even Zhao Xingwu coughed softly at this moment. Changxing, don't joke around. If it can really heal mentality injuries, Old Man Li said in surprise. Who's joking? Having said that, a strong gush of energy appeared outside Old Man Li's body. He said casually, If it really needs 100 caddies, don't try it easily. It might not be cured. He then said. You don't say. Energy essence feels really good bathing. I'll go bathing again when I'm free. Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu were instantly speechless. Both of them also felt the aura of energy essence. Li Chongqing's body seemed to still contain a lot of energy. Old Man Li ignored them. He looked at Fang Ping and smiled. Fang Ping, give me another pot. I'll go back and brew some wine. As he said that, he winked at Fang Ping. I'm just putting on a show for you. Don't be stingy. Give me a pot. Give me a pot, then you'll show how awesome you are. Fang Ping said nothing. He pretended he did not see it. Do you think I'm stupid? While the two rank 9s were present, Fang Ping continued to claim credit. Instructor Li's recovery is MC Meiyu's private matter. But this time, I've made a great contribution to Nanjiang's catacombs. Senior Wu, Senior Zhao, we should be rewarded for killing the enemy, right? This time, I've killed tens of thousands of catacombs martial artists, flattened half of gigantic Willow City, and dug up their underground mineral vein. Even that big willow tree was almost blown up by me. Before he finished, Qin Fengqing said immediately, We've made a contribution too. I've killed thousands of martial artists, flattened 7 or 8 towns, and destroyed a few small cities. Can you reward me with a few billion? The two high grandmasters were speechless. Don't talk. Let us sort out our thoughts. These two middle-ranked martial artists told them that they had blown up gigantic Willow City, dug up their mineral vein, and almost killed the tutelary plant monster. They also brought Li Chongqing to bathe in the fountain of life for a while. Then, Li Chongqing's injuries recovered. This sounded fake no matter how you listened to it. Zhou Dinghua, who was at the side, was dumbfounded. What was going on? But Zhao Xingwu knew that half of gigantic Willow City seemed to have been blown up by someone. That big willow tree had really gone crazy. And Li Chongqing had indeed recovered. It was a little messy. Zhao Xingwu rubbed his temples. His head hurt a little. Wu Chuan was about the same. He exhaled softly and said in a low voice, Tell me everything in detail from the beginning to the end. Until now, he was still confused. What was going on? Fang Ping was not vague. Very soon he began to narrate. As he spoke, it was inevitable that he would talk about sneaking into the city. Fang Ping did not hide anything about aura control either. This matter was actually very difficult to hide. Fang Ping explained as he spoke. Maybe it's because I'm middle-ranked. My bone marrow is honed, and my mentality is extroverted. Other people might be able to do it too. If Brother Wang's mentality has reached the stage of extroverted, he might be able to do it too. If Yao Qingjuan's bone marrow can be honed, he might be able to do it too. As for whether it was possible or not, he would let them do it first. When they did it, Fang Ping might be a grandmaster, and he would not care about this. When Fang Ping was talking about this, the two rank 9s did not interrupt. There was no benefit in hiding this. They had never seen a middle rank with mutated bone marrow and mentality. As for whether it was possible or not, it felt like it was not possible. After all, rank 8 powerhouses had honed their bone marrow too. Their mentality was stronger than Fang Ping's. If Fang Ping could do it, why couldn't a rank 8? Fang Ping could not tell what the two of them were thinking. At least on the surface, these two should not do anything out of line. After Fang Ping spoke for a while, Wu Chuan said, In other words, you used your aura control ability to sneak into the city, snatched away part of the energy essence, healed Chongqing, and then wanted to steal the mine. Fang Ping denied the steal theory. Wu Chuan was speechless. After a pause, he said, Then because the energy concentration was too high, you blew up the mine vein? Fang Ping laughed. I did it on purpose. I purposely scattered the energy essence just for today. I knew that the energy would not disperse so quickly, so I went to blow up the other party's city. It was hard to tell if this was true or not. The probability of it being a coincidence was as high as 99%. However, since Fang Ping insisted on saying so, the few of them did not refute. Wu Chuan listened for a while, looking slightly amused. Kid, you're extraordinarily lucky. It's not easy to be alive. Actually, we've thought about blowing up the mine vein under the royal city, but we need to enter the core area. However, entering the core area means that we've attacked the royal city head-on. You accidentally blew up the mineral veins on the periphery. It was a miracle that was hard to replicate. Fan Ping did not care what he said. He said immediately, Senior Wu, look, I've already destroyed half of the royal city. Shouldn't the government reward me at least a few billion or tens of billions? Wu Chuan shut up immediately. Zhao Xingwu laughed. I'm afraid that'll be difficult. But a few billion or tens of millions. Fan Ping did not waste any time. He placed the animal skin bag in front of him, opened it, rubbed his shoulders casually, and mumbled. It's quite tiring to carry this. It's only a few billion, but it's actually quite heavy. Beside him, Li Hansong felt a little embarrassed. There was no need to be so obvious. It was obvious that he did not care for that little bit of reward. Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu's old faces were also a little stiff. Kid, do you really think that we won't rob you? Before the two of them could say anything, Fan Ping smashed his fist down, smashing the sneakily extended claw into the ground. His face was dark. Was Qin Fengqin sick? I was just saying. Did he really think it was heavy? Qin Fengqin retracted his hand silently. I was just looking. King hit me just because you said so. You're too petty. Seizing this opportunity, Wu Chuan also skipped this topic. He muttered, If that's the case, gigantic Willow City might not attack for a while. How about this? The passageway will be stabilized for the third time tomorrow or the day after. Fan Ping, you guys go back first. Fan Ping hurriedly smiled. Senior, don't worry about us. We're fine. We can still continue to fight. Wu Chuan coughed softly. Beside him, Zhou Dinghua said gloomily. You guys better go back first. Right now, gigantic Willow City might not continue to attack. But if you guys are here, that will easily arouse the other party's hostility. You've already blown up half of their royal city. If you guys are here, who knows if those few rank 9s will be pissed. They'll risk their lives to kill people. Isn't that just adding to the trouble? Of course, when these words were said, it was somewhat of a blow. Fan Ping was speechless. Was he going to chase them away just like that? Qin Fengqin also looked unwilling. He immediately said, This has nothing to do with me. Fan Ping can go back. Didn't you say that you destroyed a few small cities? Wu Chuan did not know whether to laugh or cry. After thinking for a while, he said, It's better to go back first. I'm not denying your contributions, but it's really not safe to stay here. Once the rank 9s attack, it'll be very difficult to protect you when we fight. Coincidentally, both Governor General Zhang and Vice Chancellor Liu are also seriously injured. This time, you guys go back together. The situation in the Nanjiang catacombs is slightly better than we expected. If we can maintain the current situation, it can also give us more time to prepare. Wu Chuan's expression was somewhat solemn as he said, We can't really provoke the catacombs' powerhouses to the point of risking their lives. Actually, if we really want to destroy gigantic Willow City, Sino Nation naturally has the ability to do so. However, if we do so, the other cities in the Nanjiang catacombs will definitely retaliate brazenly under the pressure of sympathy. Fan Ping fell silent. After a while, he snorted softly. I know. In short, the catacombs can kill our people and slaughter our powerhouses. We can only hold it in and bear it. Even if we can destroy the other party, we can't go all out. The overall situation is more important. The overall situation is to sacrifice a few people to help all of humanity. This kind of overall situation can sometimes make people crazy. This time, so many of our people have died. Wu Chuan was silent. Zhao Xingwu's gaze was downcast. Zhou Dinghua clenched his fists and said in a low voice, Everything that you said, we can understand, and we feel the same way. However, the overall situation is like this. We can only follow the rules. Yes, we can destroy a few cities now, even destroy 1 or 2 catacombs. We can do it, and we can vent our anger. But what about after we vent our anger? We can only bear it, can only wait. And now, it seems that everything is worth it. You, the new generation of powerhouses, are rising. The number of martial artists above rank 7 is increasing, and more geniuses are emerging. Humanity needs time. Fan Ping, you are the president of Magic City Martial Arts University's Martial Arts Society, not just an ordinary casual martial artist. Sometimes, the overall situation that you say you hate is exactly what you should consider. Today, only a few people died, some older martial artists. However, if a full-scale war breaks out, thousands of MCMAU students will all have to enter the catacombs to fight. Countless people will die. Tell me, if you were to choose, what would you choose? Fan Ping said nothing more. The others did not speak either. After an unknown amount of time, Wang Jinyang said softly, Commander Zhou, the Governor-General and the others. Zhou Dinghui glanced at Wang Jinyang and said in a low voice, Vice-Chancellor Chen and Director Zhou have already died in battle, self-destructed. Not even their bones were left. I'm sorry. Governor-General Zhang and Vice-Chancellor Lu's injuries are not light. They are now recuperating. When the passageway is stable, all of you will go back together. Wang Jinyang clenched his fists. After a moment, he said in a muffled voice, Understood. Everyone fell into silence once more. After an unknown amount of time, Qin Fengqing said lazily, We haven't talked about the reward yet. Commander Zhou, with my contribution and such a great achievement, I don't think it'll be difficult to become a general with the military department's merit, right? I'm about to graduate. It's time to find my next job. Zhou Dinghui looked at him deeply. After a while, he said, If it's a temporary position, a lieutenant is fine. A temporary position? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a full-time position. Zhou Dinghui took a deep breath. After a long time, he said, The military department is not short of people at the moment. These words could not be any more fake. There was never a time when the military department was not short of people. However, this kid Qin Fengqing actually wanted to be a full-time general. This also meant that he wanted to lead troops. What a joke! If you were given a military rank, the military department would not have any objections if you went out on your own. However, if you were to lead troops and even guard a place, Zhou Dinghui was a little scared. He was afraid that Qin Fengqing's troops would be gone in a few days. Qin Fengqing's expression darkened instantly. He gritted his teeth and looked at Wu Chuan again. His smile returned. Senior Wu, is the House of Guardians still short of people? Wu Chuan chuckled. If you want to come to the House of Guardians, I welcome you at any time. However, the House of Guardians is currently only short of a garrison envoy. Qin Fengqing raised his eyebrows immediately. That was not sincere enough. The so-called garrison envoy was similar to the rank 6 martial artist in MC Mayu's catacombs, who was stationed in one of the catacombs' strongholds. He did not lead troops, did not have any real power, and only played the role of a hired thug. Did he, Qin Fengqing, do this kind of thing? However, it was not that he could not consider it. Qin Fengqing pondered slightly. Wu Chuan said again, Of course, you can't leave your post without permission. This is no joke. If you leave your post without permission, the House of Guardians will also enforce military law. However, you can choose to take a temporary position in the House of Guardians. You can also act alone. Qin Fengqing really could not hold it in anymore. He could not help but say, Those guys who graduated before went to the military department, or the House of Guardians. They were all generals who led troops. I'm not worse than them, right? Why can I only take a temporary position? It was not that he had to lead troops, but at least he had to make himself feel like he was valued. Right now, he did not feel it, okay. Beside him, Fan Ping said lightly, Don't hurt others and yourself. In my opinion, a temporary position is enough. Do you really want to lead troops and be stationed in one place? But there's a huge difference in treatment between a permanent position and a temporary position, okay? Qin Fengqing's face was full of displeasure. Who cared if he was leading troops or not? The key thing was that there was a huge difference in treatment between the two. A temporary position was just a gesture. He would only be given a little basic allowance. Fang Ping laughed. That's true. If you can achieve rank 6, I can consider letting you stay in MC Mayu. Humph. Qin Fengqing let out a cold humph. He would not stay in MC Mayu even if he was beaten to death, even if he had to take a temporary position. Life in MC Mayu is getting better and better. When I go back this time, the instructor's treatment will increase. I've thought about it. In the future, the energy room will be open to the public for free. If there's no money, I can go down to the catacombs to mine. Energy stones are everywhere anyway. Qin Fengqing turned a deaf ear. He did not believe it. Energy essence. This kind of good stuff will also appear in MC Mayu in the future. Too bad it's too little. I can only open it to our own people. Chapter 388. After tempting Qin Fengqing with a few words, Fang Ping suddenly changed the topic, saying, Forget it. Even if you want to stay, I don't want you to stay. You're too much. You. Qin Fengqing almost cursed out loud. Can I get into trouble like you? Fang Ping ignored him and looked at Wu Chuan, smiling. Brother Wu, the city will be built soon, right? Yes. Then, what do you think of the name Ping City? Wu Chuan was stunned. Fang Ping said excitedly. A city that pacifies the catacombs, a city of peace. Of course, Fang City can also. Wu Chuan's head hurt slightly. If you were my grandson, I would slap you to death. Wu Chuan did not answer. He exhaled softly and said, Do you still have energy essence? No. Fang Ping's answer was straightforward. Wu Chuan did not ask further. He only said, Zhang Dingnan's injuries are not light this time. His mentality is also in a shattered state. I don't know if energy essence is effective. Old Manly pondered for a moment and said, If it's not completely shattered, there should be some effect. Moreover, he can achieve mentality-vitality fusion. With a large amount of energy essence, under mentality-vitality fusion, he should be able to heal his injuries. I hope so. Wu Chuan sighed. If Zhang Dingnan could not be cured in Nanjiang, there would be a lot of trouble. The support that the military department and the House of Guardians could provide was limited. There were no powerhouses stationed in the catacombs in Nanjiang. Even if the city was built successfully in Nanjiang, it would always be in a state of defense. After talking for a while, the sky darkened instantly. Another day passed. Night fell. It did not affect them much. Wu Chuan looked at Zhou Dinghua. Old Zhou, bring them back. When the passageway is stable, let them go first. Okay. Zhou Dinghua did not delay and left the passageway quickly. Zhang Dingnan and the rest were not here. Under the night sky, everyone quieted down. Even Fang Ping and Qin Fengqing, who were talkative, had no interest in talking now. They were actually very tired. Moreover, all of them were injured. Even Li Hansung's injuries were not light, much less Qin Fengqing's. It had to be said that this fellow's endurance was very strong, acting as if nothing had happened. In reality, his injuries were extremely serious. Even Fang Ping could feel that his qi was extremely unstable, showing signs of extinguishing at any time. Qin Fengqing was recuperating with his eyes closed. On the other side, Wang Jinyang was leaning against a blood-stained rock, staring at the sky in a daze. What was the future of Enmayu? It was not that he was sentimental, but the future was indeed very uncertain. The only Grand Master had died in battle. However, as the only full-time martial arts university in Nanjiang, Enmayu had to take responsibility. In the future, this piece of land would have to be guarded by the local forces of Nanjiang. Not far from Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong was also recuperating. At the same time, he was thinking about something. What was the future? Should he stay in CCMAU? Or go to the military headquarters or somewhere else? The situation in the other catacombs did not seem too good. CCMAU students were generally too optimistic. Even the powerhouses in Capital City were too optimistic. Had there been any major battles in Jingo in the past few years since that battle? On the other hand, in other places, there were endless bloody battles. Everyone was seeking survival, strength, and change. That night, a few young people were thinking about the future, while a few powerhouses of the older generation were watching them quietly. The future of humankind depended on these young people. How they hoped that these people could grow up as soon as possible. The older generation could no longer hold up the sky. The night was uneventful. At dawn, Qin Fengqing was full of energy. He began to circle around Fang Ping, looking like he wanted to take advantage of the situation. Fang Ping could not be bothered with him. He kept staring at the system panel. However, the upgrade was not completed yet. It was still dark. Fang Ping did not know when it would be completed, but he was not in a hurry. Not long after dawn, Zhou Dinghua and the others returned. Zhou Dinghua carried Zhang Ding'an on his back, while department head Hu from the Department of Investigation Services carried Lu Polu. The two rank 7 powerhouses had reached the point where they needed someone to carry them before they could move. It was obvious how serious their injuries were. Everyone hurried forward. Wu Chuan checked on the two's injuries and frowned slightly. Fang Ping asked hurriedly, "Brother Wu, how are the two Grandmasters' injuries?" "Much of Ding Nan's mentality has been obliterated. Many of his bones are also shattered. His internal organs are also heavily injured." Zhang Dingnan was still conscious at this moment. He chuckled when he heard that. "It's already beyond my expectations that he's still alive." That day, he held back a rank 8 powerhouse. The moment Old Manly drew his sword, that person began to struggle desperately. With all his might, he almost tore Old Manly into pieces in a short time. In the end, Old Manly killed the other party. Zhang Dingnan also lost his combat strength. After Fang Ping left with Old Manly, the remaining two rank 8s also fought with their lives. After all, the number of powerhouses in Nanjiang was much smaller. Lu Polu and Zhang Dingnan were about to be besieged and killed. Zhang Dingnan was also powerless to hold on. At this juncture, Vice-Chancellor Chen of NMAU chose to self-destruct. Zhou Dinghua seized the opportunity and led the others to escape. Although they ran, everyone was heavily injured. Zhang Dingnan's injuries were the heaviest. Lu Polu's injuries were not light either. His internal organs were almost completely destroyed. Even his skull had cracks. To a rank 7 powerhouse, this was a fatal injury. Old Lu needs to recuperate for a long time too. Wu Chuan checked Lu Polu's injuries and frowned slightly. Although Lu Polu's injuries were slightly lighter, he might need to recuperate for a long time this time. Moreover, his skull had cracks. The difficulty of bone honing would increase greatly. Rank 8 was a little uncertain. Lu Polu did not care too much. He had been stuck at rank 7 for a long time. A Grandmaster powerhouse still knew his own situation. Even if the skull cracks could not heal, it was not a big deal. Rank 8 did not have much hope in the first place. Both of them did not care too much about their own injuries. Instead, they looked at Old Manly strangely. This fellow, had he profited from a disaster? Old Manly grinned and said, "Zhang Dingnan, it's really surprising that you didn't die. I have to say, your life is really tough. The next time we go out, I can't go with you. Otherwise, when everyone else is dead, you might still be alive." This fellow's life was too tough. Before he left, he did not even die when he grabbed a handful of soil. There was no one else like him. Zhang Dingnan chuckled softly. "You surprised me too. I thought you were dead for sure. You're great, you even broke through. It's just SOSO. Fighting 10 of you is still no problem." Zhang Dingnan smiled without saying anything. He turned to look at Fang Ping and said, "I didn't expect this accident to happen to you. If it were not for Fang Ping, the current situation might not be like this." All these years, there was really no one who could sneak into the enemy's royal city. Low-ranked ones could not do it. High-ranked ones would be discovered if they went. Once discovered, they would attack the royal city by force. In the enemy's lair, with the guardian monster plant, even a rank 9 would not be able to take it down. There was no way to take down a rank 9 with a similar number. If there were too many of them, the catacombs still had a lot of rank 9s. If there were too many of them, then an all-out war would break out. On the other hand, Fan Ping was a middle-ranked martial artist. Even if he really destroyed the royal city, the powerhouses in the depths of the catacombs could not say anything. The royal city that was guarded by 2 rank 9s was attacked by a middle-ranked martial artist to their lair. What right did they have to say that humans broke the rules? The powerhouses in the depths of the catacombs wanted to intervene. However, at this juncture, even if they had to fight to the death, humans would not let the people in the depths of the catacombs act recklessly. Otherwise, the situation of humans would be even more dangerous. Zhang Dingnan looked at Fan Ping for a while. Suddenly, he laughed and said, "Have you considered returning to Nanjiang?" Fan Ping grinned and said, "It's really hard for me to reject the governor's kind invitation." When he said that, the others were a little surprised. Old Man Li and Lu Pola looked at Fan Ping one after another. Fan Ping said again, "Governor, how about this? What do you think about giving me the title of Nanjiang's honorary governor? I'll only earn and not lose. Of course, give me a little bit of authority when it's appropriate." Zhang Dingnan chuckled and said, "What kind of authority do you want? It's simple. You can close down Nanjiang's pill company and weapon company branches and name MC Mayu to take over. In the future, all the Nanjiang catacombs resources can be handed over to MC Mayu. We won't let you suffer any losses." Before he could finish speaking, Zhang Dingnan smiled bitterly and said, "Stop. Just pretend I didn't say what I just said. This kid, did he really think that he could stand on his own as Nanjiang's governor? No matter how much authority Nanjiang's governor had, it was still bestowed by the central government. Moreover, he still hoped that the military department would be stationed in the catacombs now. While the military department and the few major companies seemed unrelated, in reality, they could be considered as one entity. Most of the major companies' sources of raw materials were provided by the military department. Nanjiang's catacombs' future production would mostly be provided to the few major companies. That was not Nanjiang's harvest, but the military department's. Not only was Zhang Dingnan speechless, Wu Chuan and Zhou Dingguo were also speechless. This kid, he really dared to dream. Zhang Dingnan did not mention the matter of him returning to Nanjiang anymore. Qin Fengqing looked regretful. He was done for. Fan Ping was determined to stay in MCMAU this time. After they talked for a while, Wu Chuan said, "The current situation is not bad. Don't start a war for now, at least not before the other party initiates a war. So this time, Alliance Leader Zhao and I will stay. The rest of you go back. Don't let anyone enter again. When the passageway is fully opened, we'll build the city. Guardian Wu, I'll stay." Zhou Dingwa said, "Both of you stay." "What if?" Wu Chuan shook his head and said, "It's okay. Even if we're besieged, escaping is not a problem. With 2 rank 9s gathered together, even if they were besieged, escaping was not too difficult." After saying that, Wu Chuan continued, "Of course, unless it's absolutely necessary, we'll always guard this place to prevent catacombs powerhouses from barging into the passageway. We still need to strengthen the defense outside. Unless it was absolutely necessary, they would not leave. If they left, it would be even more troublesome if a few rank 9s barged in. So many people came in the early stages, fighting to the death just to guard the passageway. Both of them would not give up the passageway easily." After hearing that, Zhang Dingnan said with a straight face, "Then I'll have to trouble both of you." If these two really ran away, Zhang Dingnan would really curse their mothers. 2 grandmasters died in Nanjiang because they did not want the other party to barge into Nanjiang's territory. Now that the situation had taken a turn for the better, the other party still managed to barge in. Zhang Dingnan even felt like killing himself. It was a pity that Nanjiang's local strength was insufficient now. He was also a burden here. Otherwise, they would have left Nanjiang's local powerhouses to guard the passageway no matter what. It's only right. Wu Chuan chuckled. Then, he said in a low voice, we've already buried the others' corpses. But Jingyang and Jinzhong's corpses. Zhang Dingnan's expression dimmed slightly, but he said very quickly, before coming, everyone was prepared. We'll die here and be buried here. We'll continue to guard Nanjiang from being invaded by foreign enemies. Everyone said no more. At this moment, the passageway was not stable. They could not leave for the time being. They could only stay here and wait. Qin Fengqing was full of energy. He wanted to continue earning a sum of money, but the others were not going out. He was afraid of dying alone. Helpless, he could only flaunt his battle achievements to the others. Killing countless enemies, destroying dozens of cities and towns, rank 4 fighting rank 6, Fan Ping and the rest could not be bothered with him. The other powerhouses still had to patrol. They dared not be careless. In the end, only the 2 injured grandmasters were left. They had no choice but to listen to his rambling. After listening to him for an hour or two, Zhang Dingnan and Lu Pola wished they could slap this fellow to death. He was boasting to them. Did he really think that they were ignorant? What did he mean by killing a rank 6 with one move? Did he think they were idiots? Seizing an energy stone the size of a human head. Where were the energy stones? Blowing up gigantic Willow City also became him luring the enemy outside the city. Fan Ping listened to his arrangements and entered the city. As for Li Han Song and Wang Jinyang who acted together with him, they had long become passers-by. Fan Ping, who was not far away, did not even have the mood to refute. Even if this fellow said it, someone had to believe it. Moreover, everyone here, other than the few of them, were grandmasters. If he said it, the others might not take it seriously. Even if he wanted to show off and boast, this was not the time. At this moment, Fan Ping was still waiting for the system upgrade to be completed. This time, the system upgrade lasted for a longer period of time. It was not until the afternoon that the system upgrade was completed. When the system upgrade was completed, Fan Ping checked it hurriedly. This time, what kind of functions had been added? Honing the internal organs was one thing. He had entered rank 5. This was not urgent. However, if spending some wealth could seal the Sanjiao Gate, he was still willing. Or you can give me the ability to increase my combat technique cultivation speed. His heart was filled with beautiful fantasies, but very soon, Fan Ping's fantasies were shattered. Wealth 11. 98 billion, converted, vitality, 1,800 calories, 3,999 calories, mentality, 560 Hz, 729 Hz plus, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 6 bones, 90%, 23 bones, 30% plus, storage space, 1 cubic meter, plus, energy shield. 10,000 wealth/minute. What's going on? Fan Ping was dumbfounded. An upgrade of 10 billion. The next upgrade would be 100 billion. This time, Fan Ping really felt that 100 billion was not enough. 10 billion might be his last chance to upgrade the system in the near future. But now, none of the functions that he wanted had appeared. The system had 2 more different places. First, there was an additional word converted behind the wealth. Second, there was an additional, plus, sign behind the storage space. Fan Ping could understand the second one. This was used to expand the storage space, but he did not know if the cost was high. Most likely, it was only possible to expand the space with wealth. Based on the system's nature, the fees might not be low. But what was the situation with the first one? Convert. How do I convert? How do I convert? All sorts of thoughts arose in Fan Ping's mind. Thinking of this, Fan Ping looked around, found a place slightly further away, and prepared to give it a try. Beside him, Qin Fengqing saw that he had left, and his eyes lit up instantly. Not long after Fang Ping left, Qin Fengqin could not be bothered to continue harassing the two grandmasters. He hurriedly ran to the place where Fang Ping had been. After looking for a while, he asked with a blank face, "Where's the animal skin bag?" When Fang Ping left, he did not see Fang Ping take it. Qin Fengqin looked around and dug on the ground for a while, his face gloomy. Not far away, old Manly shook his head. MC Mayu had embarrassed itself again. "Kid, you want to take advantage of Fang Ping? Is it really possible?" Although Fang Ping did not use the storage space, he had already thrown the animal skin bag to him, okay? Old Manly held the animal skin bag in his hand, with a sigh. That kid did not even trust him. In the animal skin bag, there was only half a bag of stones and a few low-grade energy stones. Who was he trying to fool? Wu Chuan and the others could not be bothered to investigate. Otherwise, they might suspect that Li Changxing had embezzled Fang Ping's energy stones. If Fang Ping really shamelessly said that Li Changxing had exchanged his energy stones, the two rank 9s would probably take it seriously. This little bastard! Don't tell me that he's really planning this. Chapter 389. Convert! He muttered in his heart. No response. System convert. Still no response. Fang Ping was about to curse. What was going on? Do I have to say what to convert? How would I know what wealth points can be converted into? Wealth points could be converted into vitality, force, and mentality. This was a given. What else could it be converted into? Fang Ping pondered for a moment. Wealth points were related to strength. Whether it was mentality or vitality force, they were both a type of strength, or a type of energy. Could it be celestiality? After mentality-vitality fusion, it was celestiality. As he thought about this, Fang Ping began to chant. In the next moment, a few silhouettes descended instantly like phantoms. Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu looked as if they were facing a formidable enemy, probing everywhere. Then they looked at Fang Ping. No, more accurately, at Fang Ping's hand. Mentality-vitality fusion? Both of them could not help but look at Fang Ping. Fang Ping looked indifferent. He waved his hand and smiled. Brother Wu, Senior Zhao, what's wrong? Wu Chuan frowned slightly, staring at his hand without saying a word. Fang Ping saw this and smiled. I'm trying out the effect of mentality-vitality fusion. Last time, I used the celestial bridge to compress it a little and realized that energy could be combined through the celestial bridge. I didn't expect it to be so easy after trying it just now. You don't mess around. Wu Chuan continued to stare at his hand. At this moment, a small ball of energy was condensing in Fang Ping's hand. It was not just vitality force, nor was it the catacombs martial artist's energy force. It was the true celestiality fusion after mentality-vitality fusion. Celestiality was a power that could be used after reaching the high ranks. Fang Ping's ability was not enough. If he rashly condensed celestiality, it would be very dangerous. Last time, this fellow almost crushed his own celestial bridge. Oh, got it. Fang Ping did not waste any more time, throwing the energy ball in his hand out. Boom! A loud noise was heard. A huge pit was blasted in front of him. Fang Ping looked confused. It was so powerful. No, it was also fast to spend money. Such a small energy ball had cost him millions of wealth points. This was not the point. Fang Ping looked at his arm. There were already signs of cracks. As expected, it's converted to celestiality. But it doesn't seem very useful. Fang Ping was slightly dissatisfied. Yes, the lethality of celestiality was not small. However, this thing could only be used as an energy bomb. Could it be that he also used the power of heaven and earth in battle? Then don't fight anymore. After fighting, he would probably explode. Of course, it wasn't as if there weren't any benefits at all. The power of heaven and earth was a higher level of power. Even if he were to change his occupation to a magician, it would still look very awesome. Fan Ping was still thinking about whether it was necessary to convert celestiality, and whether the function was useless. However, Wu Chuan was slightly surprised. You can really fight your way out? Am I wrong? Fan Ping was dumbfounded. If I condensed energy, of course I could attack. Wu Chuan frowned and said, It's not wrong, but, how do I put it? It's very difficult for a typical rank 7 martial artist to release it completely. Do you understand what I mean? I don't really understand. Fool! Wu Chuan scolded and explained. That is to say, when they fight, don't look at how strong the celestiality outbursts are. In reality, there's a source. For example, their celestiality can only reach that domain if their mentality spreads to. Have you ever seen a rank 7 martial artist whose attack range exceeds the coverage of his mentality with a casual attack? Once it exceeds this range, it will overflow. Celestiality is the amalgamation of vitality force and mentality. If it exceeds the coverage of mentality, then it's pure vitality force. Fan Ping understood something instantly. He asked in surprise. In other words, rank 7 martial artists can only attack with celestiality when it's within their mentality territory? That's right. As he said that, Wu Chuan frowned and asked, What's wrong with you? Fan Ping's mentality earlier did not extend. The celestiality gathered and did not dissipate. Instead, it was unleashed. This was not something a typical martial artist could do. Of course, some powerful rank 7 martial artists could achieve materialization of their mentality. At this time, they could perform some mentality cuts and could also unleash it. However, there was no need for that. Although Fan Ping did not know much about it, he still reacted at this moment. He coughed dryly and said, I cut off my mentality directly and condensed it with vitality force. That's why I unleashed it. Cut off? When Fan Ping heard that, he immediately spread out his mentality. A small section was cut off by him. This made Fan Ping's face turn slightly pale. Wu Chuan wanted to say something but stopped himself. Zhao Xingwu could not hold it in anymore. He could not help but curse. You're courting death. You're a non-rank 7 martial artist. Damaging your mentality. If this is not courting death, then what is? It was very difficult to recover one's mental power. Fan Ping said indifferently. It's nothing. I often self-destruct my mentality to blow people up. Both rank 9s wanted to curse. You're really King awesome. A rank 5 martial artist, no, he was still a rank 4 previously. Often self-destruct his mentality to blow people up. You haven't become an idiot yet. You're not brain dead yet. Do you know that you've created another miracle? Wu Chuan took a deep breath, resisting the urge to smack him to death. This bastard who cut off his mentality at the drop of a hat made him feel very pained. You cut off your mentality. How long will it take for you to recover? Very soon. Fan Ping was a little slower this time. He gradually replenished his mentality, letting the 2 rank 9s see what it meant to be very soon. After spending about 5 minutes, Fan Ping was done replenishing his mentality. In reality, he could do it in a second. However, even so, both rank 9s were still a little dazed. So fast. Zhao Xingwu stared at his head for a while. Fan Ping was trembling in fear. Mother ***. I don't want to die. Who knew that you guys would come so fast? I'm recovering so slowly now. You guys still want to cut off my head? Wu Chuan frowned. He thought for a moment and said, Have you done a detailed examination of your brain? As he said that, he looked at Zhao Xingwu and said, Do you think he has condensed a brain nucleus? Zhao Xingwu also started thinking. After a while he said, The possibility is not low. It's really possible that he has condensed a brain nucleus. Brain nucleus? Fan Ping looked doubtful. Did these two fill in the blanks on their own and explain his system? Wu Chuan explained again. The brain nucleus is a kind of core body of the brain condensed by martial artists above rank 7. It's the same concept as the heart nucleus. The source of rank 7 martial artists' mentality is actually related to the brain nucleus. Of course, it's not completely related. Research in this area still doesn't have a specific answer. However, the brain nucleus does exist. When you kill martial artists above rank 7, you can condense their heart nucleus and brain nucleus, and simulate the release of mentality pressure. Fang Ping said immediately. MC may use pressure room. That's right. Wu Chuan nodded and said, the brain nucleus should have the function of replenishing mentality. Your mentality recovers quickly. It's possible that you condensed the brain nucleus in advance. This also explains why you have psychic energy so early on. As for your bone marrow mutation, maybe it's the premature appearance of the brain nucleus that triggered your bone marrow mutation. Fang Ping said with a sudden realization. So the mutation of the brain is the extra brain nucleus. Is this thing useful? Wu Chuan was speechless. After thinking for a while, he said, however, there are still some unexplainable things. Unfortunately, the brain nucleus can't be detected. Similar to the Sanjiao Gate, it exists in between nothingness. Unless you're killed, then the brain nucleus can condense and form. Fang Ping's expression changed. These two did not have such intentions, did they? Wu Chuan glared at him exasperatedly. He frowned and said, the brain nucleus is useless to us. You're more useful alive than dead. Fang Ping did not bat an eyelid. He did not say much. Now there were no more doubts, right? Wu Chuan thought of something and said suddenly, no, that's not what I want to ask. How do you condense celestiality? Fang Ping did not feel guilty this time. He smiled and said, it's simple. I just need to compress the celestial bridge a little. Pouring in vitality force and mentality can compress it into celestiality. Both of you didn't watch the championship, right? I could do it before. Both of them did not watch it. Both of them were busy with a few middle-ranked competitions. Where would they have the time to watch it? After hearing what Fang Ping said, Wu Chuan frowned and said, it's doable, but the damage to the celestial bridge is too great. It can easily cause the celestial bridge to shatter. Don't mess around. I'm not messing around. My celestial bridge's tenacity is very high. It's not a problem. Fang Ping wanted to try it again and let the two rank 9s see it. However, just as he was about to try, he said suddenly, forget it. I won't try it today. My celestial bridge is too ugly. Others have rings, mine is steamed buns. It's embarrassing. I won't try it. Behind him, Old Man Li yawned and said, try it. Let everyone see it. I won't try it. If you don't try it, then there's something wrong with it. Both of you, cut him up. Fang Ping's expression darkened. He said gloomily, stop it. My celestial bridge can compress celestiality. Everyone knows that. Iron Head, don't you agree? Fang Ping looked at Li Han Song. These people were also attracted by the explosion earlier. Li Han Song was about to nod when Qin Feng Qing said immediately, Fang Ping, try it. I've never seen celestiality before. Try it. He felt that the more Fang Ping did not want to do something, the more he should let him do it. The two rank 9 martial artists were a little curious. Could it be that there were other secrets? Fang Ping glared at Old Man Li angrily. Do you have a guilty conscience? I saved you, and now you're tricking me? Old Man Li grinned, squinting his eyes. Come on, try it. Don't be shy. It'll be fine. It was rare for this kid Fang Ping to make a fool of himself. It was fun. I won't do it. If you won't do it, then there's something wrong with it. I keep thinking that if your head is cut open, it'll be very interesting. Stop it. You're the one with the problem. I've condensed a brain nucleus. Kid, think it through. We're all very interested. Think about it. There's only a few of us now. If you don't satisfy everyone. His words sounded very vulgar. Coupled with Old Man Li's smile, it made one's imagination run wild. Fang Ping's expression darkened. He humphed and said, I just want to see it, right? Fine, I'll show you. Do you think I'm afraid of embarrassing myself? What a joke. I, Fang Ping, have started a new cultivation era. The next moment, Fan Ping released his celestial bridge. Huh! Li Han Song and the others opened their mouths wide. Their faces were filled with shock. What was this? Celestial bridge? Don't tease me. Li Han Song released his celestial bridge subconsciously. It was magnificent. A circle of light shone brightly in front of him. Beside him, Fan Ping. The unknown thing that was squeezed into a lump was also shining. It was extremely ugly. This time, the two rank 9 Grandmasters' expressions changed. If one looked closely, they would see that they were trying hard to hold back their laughter. The Celestial Bridge could usually be released at peak rank 4. Of course, at that time, there were only 5 bridges. There was no difference. Rank 5. It was actually just a fusion. But Fan Ping. He had also fused. The key was, how did this kid fuse them? Could it be that he had piled up the 5 bridges into a pile? Wu Chuan rubbed his forehead slightly to hide his expression that was a little out of control. Zhao Xingwu, on the other hand, was rather interested. He went forward to check it out, clicking his tongue. The energy capacity is very high. Interesting. Could it be that by squeezing it like this, it can increase the limit of the energy capacity? Fan Ping said with a straight face. Yes. I chose to fuse it this way because I discovered this function. My current vitality is close to 4,000 calories, comparable to a peak rank 5 powerhouse. Even the fact that I can fuse mentality vitality has something to do with the strength of the celestial bridge. The path of the predecessors is suitable for the average person. It's not suitable for geniuses like us. In this era, only I, Fan Ping, can do it. Li Han Song said in surprise. Can it really increase the limit of the energy capacity? Of course. But if you don't believe me, compare it with me. Between our celestial bridges, whose energy is more abundant? You broke through earlier than me. Is your strength higher than mine? If we fight now, don't think that you have an iron head. I can beat you easily. Do you believe me? Li Han Song was starting to believe him. Fan Ping's lump seemed to have more energy than him. Then after fusing, can I change the form again? Li Han Song asked hurriedly. Fan Ping laughed. You can try. First, press your celestial bridge into a round pancake and see, compression? Li Han Song stared at the celestial bridge in front of him. Old Man Li saw that he was taking it seriously. Even Qin Fengqing looked eager. He was speechless instantly. Was he an idiot? Was he an idiot? Did he really believe what Fan Ping said? If he really learned from him, his celestial bridge would definitely collapse. Old Man Li scolded immediately. Don't mess around. That's an accidental product. At that time, it absorbed too much energy essence. After the excess energy, it kept collapsing and mending. Finally, it formed the celestial bridge that it is now. Fan Ping said seriously. You guys can do it too. Believe me. Otherwise, if we're at the same rank, you guys will definitely be weaker than me. I can hit 3,000 calories vitality with one move, no pressure at all. If you hit 2,000 calories vitality with one move, the celestial bridge might shake. It's not strong enough. You'll need to spend a lot of time to stabilize it. As he said that, Fan Ping punched. A large amount of vitality force passed through the celestial bridge and exploded instantly. Fan Ping finished his move and said, It's faster to replenish energy too. Pay attention, I've absorbed a large amount of energy. The few young people watched carefully, their faces full of caution. At this moment, Qin Fengqing could not care less about saying that it was ugly. He was not in the mood to watch a joke either. So what if it was ugly? It was practical enough. Higher toughness, higher capacity, faster recovery speed. This was simply too tempting. Qin Fengqing swallowed and said quickly, In other words, if I swallow a large amount of energy essence, I can compress it, right? Fan Ping laughed. That's if you don't explode. I can't. Qin Fengqing blurted out. Old Man Li's head swelled. He should not have wanted to watch a joke. Qin Fengqing, this kid, was getting restless. However, after thinking about it, the possibility of him getting the energy essence was not high. Just as he thought about it, Qin Fengqing rubbed his chin and said, "If, instead of using energy essence, I burn and release a large amount of energy stones, liquefied energy, after I swallow it, will there be such a change?" At this moment, Li Hansong also said, "We can nurture toughness. How do we prevent the celestial bridge from collapsing?" Wang Jinang pondered and said, "Your celestial bridge has been nurtured by mentality. We haven't. Is there a difference? Could it be that after mentality is nurtured, it will have a higher toughness?" Qin Fengqing said hurriedly, "Don't ask first, Fang Ping. Is there a difference between energy essence and energy stones after releasing liquefied energy? Will there be a difference?" Old Man Li was stunned. Mother ***, I was just watching the fun, and you guys really started discussing it. Fan Ping's words had fooled everyone, and they all believed it. Not only them, Wu Chuan also said in a low voice, "If it can be popularized, does it mean that same-ranked martial artists will be stronger? Stronger outbursts, stronger limits. If it can be popularized, the next generation of young martial artists will be stronger. Nurture a large number of same-rank peak powerhouses. Once they become high ranks, or even rank 9, they might be able to kill a catacombs rank 9. At this moment, they had long forgotten about celestiality. That was not a big deal. The change in martial arts was the real big deal. It was just an individual's mutation. That was nothing. This kind of mutation that could be popularized was something worth paying attention to. Zhao Xingwu said in a low voice, "We can try, but you know what energy essence is. It's still different from energy stones. We can let the research department improve it. If it doesn't work, we can rob some. We don't have to go to the city. There are rank 9 monster plants in the wild too. We can kill a few and seize some. Maybe we can experiment with some results. I think we should let Fang Ping try first, see if it can really make him stronger, and if it will affect his future breakthroughs, then we can try it. Makes sense." Old Man Li was dumbfounded. Fang Ping explained to them while looking at him, revealing a scornful smile. "Old Man Li, it's not that easy to trick me." "Easily done." Old Man Li wanted to squat on the ground and draw circles. "Why? Didn't you see his ugly celestial bridge? It was a lump. Whose celestial bridge was so ugly? People nowadays are so gullible. No one understood Fang Ping better than him. This kind of mutation was not something anyone could do. Even if others tried, the probability of failure was extremely high. Wu Chuan and the rest might have to waste a lot of energy essence. Of course, it was not certain that they would fail, but Old Man Li felt that the probability of failure was extremely high. At this moment, Fang Ping was still boasting shamelessly. In martial arts, it doesn't mean that following the path of the ancients is the right path. Of course, I don't mean to deny the path of martial arts. I'm only saying that on this path, we can go further. Yes, we can create our own combat techniques, then we can create our own cultivation methods. Cultivation is not something that is unchanging. Qin Fengqing strongly supported it. "I want a celestial bridge like this too, to beat up my peers." Old Man Li was exhausted. "Forget it, pretend I didn't say anything. I'm so stupid." Chapter 390. Everyone's discussion was in full swing. It seemed like they all wanted to give it a try. To a martial artist, there was nothing more important than improving their strength. On the contrary, low-ranked martial artists were not as anxious as high-ranked ones. The higher one's rank was, the more one would understand the magnitude of the crisis facing humanity. Now, it was already at its limit to maintain this situation. As time passed, as the powerhouses in the catacombs increased, as Monster Life and the Monster Plant clan gradually reached an agreement, if this continued, humanity would be in danger. For many people, it was extremely difficult to break through to the next realm. Therefore, it was very important to become stronger in the same realm. Seeing that everyone was eager to try, Fang Ping coughed dryly and said, That? Actually, it's still very difficult. Don't worry, I'll give it a try. Let's give it a try. At most, I'll just suffer some injuries. How would you know if you don't try? Several people spoke up one after another, including the 2 rank 9s. Fang Ping looked embarrassed. Fine, there was no point in saying anything now. No matter how difficult it was, these guys would probably want to try it anyway. Fang Ping did not care about their discussion. There was no harm in trying. Most of the time, miracles happen unintentionally. At this moment, Fang Ping was still thinking about celestiality. Wealth points could be converted into celestiality. Having an additional function was a good thing. Celestiality's lethality was still very high. Moreover, the celestiality he had condensed now was little. If he spent more wealth, he should be able to condense more. If he really threw it out like a bomb and gathered enough, it might not be any weaker than a rank 7 powerhouse's attack. This was actually equivalent to a trump card that could injure high ranks. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for a middle-ranked martial artist like Fang Ping to injure a high-ranked martial artist. Old Manly was a peak rank 6, half a golden body, and had nurtured his sword for 10 years. With so many conditions combined, if that sword had encountered a rank 7 alone, he might not have been able to kill the other party. The gap between the realms was too wide. Old Manly was not the only one who could kill a rank 8. Zhang Dingnan was almost beaten to death. This was the result of a rank 7 powerhouse holding him back with all his might. But the power of heaven and earth is too strong, I can't bear it now. When he condensed celestiality, Fang Ping also had to bear the backlash of this kind of power. His physique was not weak, comparable to a peak rank 5 powerhouse. However, the backlash from the power of heaven and earth was also very difficult for him to endure. It would be fine if it was just a little less, but if it was too much, he would probably be heavily injured. Apart from being a trump card, is there any other use? Just as Fang Ping was pondering over this question, Old Manly stopped drawing circles and approached him to ask. When your mentality and vitality are converted into celestiality, what's the ratio? What? Fang Ping was at a loss. That is, how much mind energy and vitality force did I spend, and how much power of heaven and earth was condensed? Fang Ping asked hurriedly. Does celestiality have a unit of measurement too? Of course. Old Manly knew that he did not understand, so he explained. In order to better measure and judge a powerhouse's ability, a quantitative unit is the most convenient way to determine a powerhouse's strength. If there's an equation, then I can give you a theoretical equation. 10 Hz mentality plus 100 calories vitality force equals 1C celestiality. Wheels? Why do you care about Lin? Do you understand what I mean? Fang Ping nodded. In other words, I have to consume 100 calories of vitality to fuse into 1C celestiality, right? Yes. What about the difference in destructive power? About 5 times or so. Old Manly continued. If you fuse vitality force and mentality into celestiality, 1C celestiality is at least equivalent to a 500 calories vitality outburst. This doesn't conform to the law of conservation of energy. Fang Ping mumbled. 100 calories vitality plus 10 Hz mentality resulted in a 500 calories vitality outburst? Old Manly's face was full of black lines. He said exasperatedly. Bullshasters law. Even if it really exists, it means that you didn't unleash the full strength of your vitality force earlier. Do you understand? The power of your chi and blood isn't at its peak yet. It's like a hand grenade. If you throw it directly without detonating, how much destructive power can it cause? But if you explode it, then you can unleash its full power. The same goes for vitality force. By fusing with mentality, you can unleash an even greater force. This is celestiality. Fang Ping understood. Old Manly's explanation was easy to understand. There was nothing he did not understand. After thinking for a moment, Fang Ping continued. In other words, if I expended 2,000 calories vitality earlier, after conversion, it would be 20C celestiality. The destructive power should be increased by 5 times, comparable to a 10,000 cal vitality outburst, right? Yes. Fan Ping frowned instantly. I don't think so. If that's really the case, I can kill a rank 6 with a 10,000 cal vitality outburst. Earlier, he had expended close to 2 million wealth points. After conversion to vitality force, it was also 2,000 calories vitality. According to Old Man Lee's theory, the energy ball he threw earlier should have a 10,000 cal vitality outburst strength. What a joke! If it was really that powerful, he could kill a rank 6 with just one energy bomb. Old Man Lee coughed dryly. I said, it's like that in theory. In reality, powerhouses can't achieve a perfect fusion. Then, he grinned and said, Kid, I said that the strength of vitality force is not enough. For example, the value of 4 B-class weapons might be twice that of an A-class weapon. However, can 4 B-class weapons cut an A-class weapon in half? It's possible. One of them is attached to vitality force. Shut up. I'm talking about purely based on toughness. Fan Ping shook his head and said, It can't be cut. It's more or less the same for an A-class to cut a B-class. Then that's it. Old Man Lee laughed and said, So, instead of giving you 4 B-class weapons, it's better to give you an A-class weapon. Fan Ping retorted again. Then I'd rather have a B-class weapon and sell it for an A-class one. Get lost! Old Man Lee cursed. I'm just making an example. What the F***ck are you thinking? Fan Ping was only joking. He understood what he meant. He pondered and said, In other words, after the conversion, although it looks like a loss, in reality it's stronger. For example, before, my vitality force might not be able to break a peak rank 6 powerhouse's physical defense. But now, after I convert, I can do it. Is that what you mean? Yes, and celestiality has more uses than just this. Old Man Lee laughed again and said, Celestiality has many uses. Kid, have you considered becoming our energy engine? What? Old Man Lee grinned and said, Engine. Human engine. Do you know why so few rank 6 martial artists go to the energy room or the vitality pool in MCMAU? Because the energy concentration is too low. Celestiality is also a type of energy. Moreover, it's currently the strongest type of energy. But to ask a Grand Master to be our engine and supply machine, no one can bring themselves to do that, don't you think? You're only a rank 5 anyway, and you recover quickly. Kid, think about it. Go to the energy room and be our energy supply machine for a while. You can also provide us with a good cultivation environment. Fan Ping's expression was frighteningly dark. What a joke! Old Man Lee must be crazy. In the end, before he could say anything, Wu Chuan, who was beside him, also rubbed his chin and said, Rank 5 martial artists can condense celestiality. It's indeed very useful. Fa Ping, nowadays, government agencies often need to use celestiality for research. However, most high-ranked martial artists have missions and are very busy. They can't get away, so many research projects are delayed. How about this? You work a little harder and go to some agencies to provide some celestiality for research. I'm very busy too. Seeing that they were eyeing him, Fan Ping immediately refused, saying with extreme vigilance, Also, I can only condense a little. If I have more, I'll explode. The research agencies don't need a lot. You just need to provide a little each time. Wu Chuan was a little tempted. Grandmasters were really busy. Moreover, everyone had missions and had their own duties. How would they have the time to go to the research agencies to provide samples for research? Celestiality, once it left the martial artist's body, was also very difficult to preserve and would dissipate very quickly. Fan Ping, this humanoid supply machine, was still very useful. Anyway, he was only a rank 5. Whether there was one more rank 5 in the catacombs or one less rank 5, there was not much difference. Of course, Fan Ping, this rank 5, was slightly different. However, he was a young man. Capable people did more work. Wu Chuan felt that after Fan Ping returned to the surface, if he had nothing to do, he could run some errands. Old Manly objected from the side, saying, "That won't do. Fan Ping, I think you should just stay in MC Mayu. Don't worry, I won't let you suffer. Take more pills, replenish your vitality, then convert it into celestiality for us to cultivate. This kind of cultivation environment will help MC Mayu's ability to improve." Beside him, Qin Fengqing asked immediately, "Are the benefits of cultivating with celestiality great?" Old Manly laughed. "You can't do it. Rank 6 martial artists can try. The biggest benefits are still peak rank 6. In this kind of environment, they can come into contact with the use of celestiality in advance, which will help with mentality-vitality fusion. Then why didn't our school use it before?" Old Manly said impatiently. "Nonsense. A few grandmasters have to cultivate themselves. Moreover, they're grandmasters. Do you have the nerve to ask them to be your supply machine?" "Oh, that's true. Fan Ping is only rank 5 anyway. It doesn't matter." Qin Fengqing and Old Manly echoed each other. Fan Ping's expression was so dark that it was unbearable. "A bunch of bastards. I won't be an engine. Grandmasters can do it. Why don't you find grandmasters to be your supply machine? But maybe he could open a celestiality cultivation room? Charge a fee?" Fan Ping thought about it and shook his head. Forget it. The consumption was too high. If he charged a high fee, people would not do it. If he charged a low fee, it might not be as much as his wealth consumption. Although he could earn some cash, he was not short of cash now. Is it helpful for peak rank 6 powerhouses to break through if they are constantly in an environment with celestiality? Fan Ping thought about this again. He could not help but ask, "Has the government not considered organizing grandmaster powerhouses to help those peak rank 6 martial artists?" Old Manly shook his head. "It's not that they haven't considered it. It's just not worth it. It takes up too much of a high-ranked martial artist's cultivation time. Moreover, the main thing is that mentality recovers slowly. The loss outweighs the gain. This requires a long period of supply. It's not something that can be done in 1 or 2 days. Of course, I suspect that there are people who are doing this. Others aside, the military department might be doing it." These few years, many of the old fellows in the military department have been in closed-door cultivation. A few rank 7 powerhouses have suddenly appeared. They might be trying something like this. Zhou Dinghua, who was beside him, glanced at him without saying a word. As a higher-up in the military department, of course, he knew some things. However, this was top secret. He could not reveal it easily. If word got out, there might be trouble. Doing this would consume a lot of mentality. A few old grandmasters often ran out of vitality. If someone found out who they were and ambushed them suddenly, they might die. Guesses were just guesses. Without a clear target, whether it was the evil sects or the catacombs, they would not attack recklessly. This kind of thing could only be done in places like the military department where there were many grandmasters. For example, MC Mayu had 2 or 3 grandmasters. If all of them ran out of vitality and were ambushed, a high rank might be able to destroy MC Mayu. Rank 6 martial artists would not ask for this either. Cultivation was their own business. Old Manly had his eyes on Fan Ping mainly because Fan Ping was too reckless. This kid's mentality and vitality force recovery speed were shocking. He was the most suitable person to do this. Moreover, it did not involve high-end combat strength. What a suitable candidate! Fan Ping could not be bothered with him. However, he did know that celestiality had another use. Fan Ping did not answer this question. Everyone just talked about it and let it go. If he did not want to do it, no one would think of forcing him to do it. If this kid was up to no good, he could detonate celestiality and blow up those rank SIXS who were cultivating. Moreover, Fan Ping himself needed to cultivate too. His probability of becoming a Grand Master seemed almost 100% now. There was no need to delay Fan Ping's cultivation time. A rank 5 martial artist who honed his bone marrow, externalized his mentality, and mastered celestiality. If it was said that Fang Ping could not break through to rank 7, no one present would believe it. At this moment, the only difficulty for Fang Ping to get close to rank 7 was the sealing of the Sanjiao Gate. As for the other honing, it was not too difficult. It was just a matter of time. As long as Fang Ping could seal his Sanjiao Gate, then he would definitely be a rank 7. He had even achieved mentality-vitality fusion. It would have been better if they did not think about this. Once they thought about it, forget about the few youngsters, even old Manly was jealous. Mother Kerr, this kid's rank 5 honing would probably not take long. If the Sanjiao Gate was successful and the sealing speed was fast, maybe he could really step into rank 7 soon. Zhao Xingwu and Wu Chuan thought about it too. Both of them took a look at Fang Ping, who was still plotting something. They looked at each other, unsure if it was bitterness or relief. Could this kid really be considered a rank 5 martial artist? They really wanted to dig open his skull and see how exactly he had mutated. Beside them, Fang Ping shuddered and subconsciously distanced himself from them. All right, he should quickly return to the surface. Now that he was in the catacombs, he just did not feel safe. Chapter 391. Amidst the clamor, the day passed in the blink of an eye. December 25th, the 5th day since Fang Ping and the others entered the catacombs. It's stable! Wu Chuan gave a low shout, startling the others awake. Zhang Dingnan showed some sadness on his face, but it disappeared in a flash. This time, the passageway was secured, but 2 Grandmasters and 16 rank 6 powerhouses were sacrificed outside the passageway. Exhaling lightly, Zhang Dingnan looked at Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu and bowed deeply. Everything was understood without words. This time, I'm counting on you too. Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu also had solemn expressions on their faces. They did not say much, but their attitude was clear. They would definitely guard the passageway. Seeing this, Fang Ping smiled and said, "Seniors, don't be too sad. When we go out later, I think we need to make a big show of celebration. Right now, the people outside must be extremely worried and their morale is low. If we continue to act like a defeated general, then our morale will take an even greater blow. Everyone is already full of fear towards the catacombs. Don't be like this. I think that when we go out, we should just praise our merits and say how many great things we've done. All the seniors have sacrificed themselves here. It can be said that the blood of the heroes will not be shed in vain, but it cannot be said too much either." The others couldn't help but laugh. "Do I need you to teach me that?" Zhang Dingnan, on the other hand, felt less sad. He nodded slightly and said, "That's true. We can't increase everyone's fear of the catacombs. The catacombs martial artists aren't scary." With that, Zhang Dingnan exhaled and said, "Then let's go back." "Go." In the next moment, everyone stepped into the vortex. Nanjiang outside the passageway. At this moment, everyone was deeply worried. Ever since Old Jin came out, everyone had been worried and anxious. Some news could be hidden from ordinary people, but not everyone. MC Meiyu was one of Nanjiang's main reinforcements this time. Luo Yichuan had already received the news that Li Changxing had died in battle, Lu Pola was seriously injured, and Fang Ping was missing. MC Meiyu was in trouble this time. If the other 2 also died in battle in the catacombs, then the blow would be too great. The news was also reported to MC Meiyu. At this time, even Tang Feng rushed over. The 2 of them stood outside the passage for 2 days. Behind him, the MC Meiyu students were also silent. At this moment, everyone knew that the problem was serious. It was worse than expected. Whether Fang Ping and the others could make it back alive, everyone was at a loss. In the crowd, Qin Yinxi's face was pale. For the past 5 days, she had been guarding this place. "The passageway is stable," Tang Feng said in a low voice. Inside, a few Grand Masters were on high alert. They surrounded the passageway. Tang Feng and the others did not go near, but they did not go far either. Would anyone come out? Will Fan Ping come out? Qinyinqi's voice was hoarse as she murmured softly. Lu Mingyao comforted him softly. It'll be fine. At this point, who could not read Qinyinqi's mind? But at this moment, everyone could only comfort him. This time, so many grandmasters went in, including a bunch of rank SIXS. When Fan Ping went in, he was only rank 4. It was hard to say whether he would be able to walk out alive. Just as the Grandmaster was on high alert, and the others were worried, auras could be sensed from the alloy house. Good news! A loud shout came from the alloy house and spread to the surroundings. Upon hearing this familiar voice, many of them heaved a sigh of relief. Fan Ping had returned. Outside the crowd, Qinyinqi could not contain her joy. She wanted to go forward, but she stopped in her tracks. Soon, the alloy house's door opened. Fan Ping was murderous at this moment. The Changdao in his hand reeked of blood. As soon as he came out of the alloy house, he shouted, "Good news! The passageway has been established! In this battle, we killed the rank 8, for rank 7s, and 10,000 middle and low-ranked martial artists. We destroyed countless cities and towns and blew up the Catacombs Royal City. The Catacombs rank 9 cowered in the city and dared not come out. We won!" When Fan Ping's voice spread to the surroundings, there was a moment of silence. Then, in an instant, there was a burst of cheers. We won! We defended it! Humans will win! Everyone could not contain their joy. They had established the passageway. In the inner circle, a few grandmasters looked at each other. They could not help but look at the few people who came out from the back. Everyone's expression changed slightly. Zhang Dingnan and Lu Pola's injuries were indeed very serious. However, in the next moment, everyone was a little confused. Was that not Li Changxing? Fan Ping did not stop there. He continued to shout. In this battle, MC Mayu's School of Weaponry Deputy Dean Li killed a rank 8 and broke through to rank 8. We humans have another Grandmaster powerhouse. Sino Nation is happy. Mankind is happy. Congratulations to the Grandmaster. In the next moment, a loud voice was heard. Many people's eyes were brimming with tears. One more Grandmaster meant one more hope for mankind. Another powerhouse had broken through. As for the sudden breakthrough from rank 6 to rank 8, everyone really did not think about this. They did not think about it. The Grandmasters looked at each other. This was completely different from what they had expected. At this moment, Li Changxing's body was also shining with golden light. He leaped into the air and shouted, "Fight for mankind, fight for Sino Nation. Congratulations to the Grandmaster." An even louder voice was heard. Below, Tang Feng and the rest were also stunned. What was going on? Did they not say that he died in battle? Rank 8. How did he suddenly become a rank 8? This surprise was a little too big. Outside the Ally House, the Grandmasters looked at Zhang Dingnan and the rest. What was going on? Right now, these people were almost suffocating. Zhang Dingnan nodded slightly but did not say much. This kid Fan Ping, no matter what he wanted to do, he was too lazy to think about it. At least he had to give the people of Nanjiang hope. At this moment, the surrounding martial artists' morale was high. This goal was achieved. As for those who sacrificed themselves, heroes, they could be remembered, but it was not appropriate to say much here. If everyone knew that 2 Grandmasters had died in battle, there might be panic. They had to slowly let everyone accept these facts. At this moment, Old Manly also landed, no longer showing off. Seeing everyone looking at him, Old Manly said lightly, "What are you looking at me for? You're really rank 8? In the crowd, some people were in slight disbelief. Old Manly smiled but said nothing. "I'm a fake. Can I tell you? I won't scare you to death. Whether it's real or fake, the golden body is here. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not." Although that was what he thought, Old Manly was a little anxious. He had to achieve Rio rank 8 as soon as possible. This fake one was not very suitable. The grandmasters were talking. Fang Ping did not disturb them. He walked to the side and met up with the people of MC Mayu. Before Tang Feng and Luo Yichuan could speak, Qin Yunxi asked in a low, hoarse voice, "Fang Ping, are you okay?" Fang Ping glanced at her, laughed dryly, and coughed softly. "What can happen to me? This time in the catacombs, I almost killed a rank 9 powerhouse. Dozens of rank 7 and 8 martial artists chased after me, but I came out unscathed. If not for the situation, I could have dug up tens of thousands of caddies of energy stones this time. It's a pity that I was chased by 2 rank 9s, so I couldn't bring too much. This time, I only brought these few things back." As he said that, Fang Ping threw the animal skin bag down. The bag opened, and a large number of energy stones were exposed. Tang Feng, who was about to reprimand him, shut his mouth instantly. What was going on? Something did not feel right. You were chased by 2 rank 9s? Fang Ping did not even look at the animal skin bag. He smiled and said, "Yunxi, help me hold this first. Carrying this thing is quite tiring. It's a pity that we were in a hurry. Otherwise, I was prepared to bring more back." Qin Yunxi quietly helped him pick up the animal skin bag, hugging it in her arms. Beside her, Qin Fengqing's eyes never left it. "Damn it, you should have let me hold it for you." Seeing that there was no chance, Qin Fengqing did not stare at this anymore. He coughed softly and said, "This time, I also killed a few hundred rank 5 and 6 martial artists. Guardian Wu insisted that we leave. Otherwise, we could even flatten the catacombs." Both of them were bragging a little too much. Everyone was skeptical. Qin Fengqing did not waste any more words. As if he had accidentally ripped open the bag, a rank 6 medal fell out. "See, I didn't lie to you, did I? I really killed a rank 6. Of course, he would not tell everyone that this was something that everyone did not want. He just conveniently took it back. Whether it was the 2 rank SIXS that they killed together at the beginning, or the rank SIXS that chased after them and were killed instead, the others did not want the medal. Only Qin Fengqing collected a lot. Everyone's expression changed again and again. What did these people do in the catacombs? Fang Ping smiled as he walked. "We won't disturb the grandmasters anymore. Let's go back first. Anyway, this time, we killed a lot in the catacombs. I also broke through to rank 5. In the city closest to the passageway, I blew up an energy mine that was tens of thousands of tons and killed tens of thousands of catacombs martial artists. Honestly, we're lucky that we came back. Otherwise, the catacombs would have been wiped out." Everyone was skeptical. Tang Feng could not help but ask, "Let's not talk about you first. What happened to Dean Li?" Fang Ping smiled. "Actually, it's simple. That day, the situation was like this." Fang Ping repeated his heroic feat again. Finally, he said, "It's a pity. We were in a hurry then. Otherwise, we might have achieved rank 9 directly. The catacombs really have a lot of good stuff." The others were silent again. Qin Yunxi whispered, "Then you're not hurt, are you?" "I'm fine. Those rank 7s and 7s couldn't catch me. Those 2 rank 9s were also running around in circles. Could they hurt me?" Beside him, Qin Fengqing wanted to say something but stopped himself. "Forget it. I won't expose the fact that you were hunted down until you lost your pants." Big Brother did not talk about second brother. He was also hunted down badly. Since he came back alive, of course, he could not embarrass himself. Could he tell everyone that the few of them had actually been running all the time in the catacombs? Not to mention how badly they were hunted down. These painful past events should be forgotten with the wind. At the same time, on the other side, Li Hansong was also reporting the situation. Li Hansong sighed. He could not explain in a few words. He said bitterly, "In the catacombs, we were constantly being hunted down. I ran for 3 days and 3 nights. Instructor, the people from other martial arts universities are really good at enduring." He wanted to cry. Now that he was back, he really wanted to find someone to talk to. Fu Guixing was a little lost. He glanced at Fan Ping and the rest who were not far away. They were dressed neatly, in high spirits, talking and laughing as if they had just returned from an outing. Why were the elites of his school doing so badly? Li Han-song was a rank 5. Among the few young people, his ability was not the strongest, but Fan Ping and Wang Jinyang should not be much stronger than him, right? Not to mention, there was still the rank 4 Qin Fengqin. At this moment, Fu Guixing felt a little embarrassed. Could he not give CCMAU some face? Li Han-song did not think too much at the moment. He was still complaining. Instructor, the school's teaching needs to be changed. At the very least, we should teach the students how to dig holes as fast as possible when they are being hunted down, conceal their aura, and conceal their traces. Li Han-song was speaking from the bottom of his heart. This skill was really useful. However, in Fu Guixing's ears, the more he listened, the more upset he felt. He forced a smile and said, "We'll talk about this later. Han-song, did you gain anything this time? When we go back, we need to cultivate our stepping techniques well." Fu Guixing did not ask any more. This prodigy of CCMAU always felt that his mind was not clear. Others were praising and showing off their achievements. What were you doing? Digging holes? Learning stepping techniques? Li Han-song's words were really sincere. This time, he had really gained experience. In the catacombs, escaping was the priority. Killing the enemy was secondary. Preserving one's life was more important than anything else. CCMAU rarely talked about these things. If CCMAU students were to change to the catacombs, their ability to survive might be slightly worse than other schools. From Li Han-song's perspective, this was a big deal, not a small one. As for praising and showing off, there was nothing to show off. After being hunted down for 3 days, he had more injuries than Qin Fengqin. Was this something to show off? Fu Guixing saw that Li Han-song still wanted to say more. His expression darkened slightly, and he ignored him. This trip to the catacombs had changed this CCMAU prodigy a lot. Even his drive seemed to have worn down a lot. In the temporary military camp, Fan Ping roughly talked about his experience in the catacombs. What he said were all honorable things. As for running naked and digging holes, being hunted down until there was no way out, he just brushed it off. He mainly talked about the rank 9 big willow tree's majesty. After he blew up the city later on, it was furious yet helpless. River-like energy essence. Energy stones that could be seen everywhere. These words also appeared frequently in Fan Ping's narration. Everyone was skeptical at first, but in the end, they all believed him. If they had not seen it or done it, they would not think that Fan Ping's words were so real. Tang Feng said with a sigh. "I didn't expect you to go through so much this time." Fan Ping laughed. "Actually, it's nothing much. At the end of the day, my ability is still a little weak. Otherwise, I would have killed a rank 9 directly. Honestly, I've always wanted to kill that willow tree monster and bring it back to MC Miyu directly. Unfortunately, I'm only rank 5. At this moment, everyone suddenly remembered that Fan Ping was rank 5. Rank 5! Xia Lei and the others' expressions were extremely complicated. Rank 5 just like that? How long had it been since you were rank 4? This unintentional sentence deeply hurt everyone's hearts. Tang Feng and Luo Yichuan felt like their hearts were suffocating. This kid, was he really going to catch up to them? Beside them, Qin Yunqi's expression was also complicated. She murmured, "You're already rank 5. She was only upper stage rank 3. Fan Ping coughed softly. Without looking at her, he said, "Of course, this time I'm back, I'll also try my best to help everyone improve their abilities. I'll open MC Meiyu's energy room to everyone for free as soon as possible. The energy stones I brought back will also help everyone speed up their cultivation." Chapter 392. Seeing how excited the others were, Fan Ping looked at Tang Feng and Luo Yichuan. He smiled and said, Also, this time in the catacombs, I've mastered the celestiality integration method. I can master it skillfully. Maybe MCMAU will build a new celestiality cultivation room. What? Both of them were stunned. After Tang Feng fused with his blood essence, he could actually gather the power of heaven and earth. However, under normal circumstances, rank 6 martial artists would rarely do something like this. It was easy to deplete one's mental energy, but hard to replenish it. Right now, he still needed to focus on nurturing his psychic energy, so he couldn't waste it. The power of the heavens and the earth was extremely precious to him. Fan Ping's expression was nonchalant. He smiled and said, "The celestiality cultivation room. Of course, due to the high consumption, the school might need to subsidize part of it. We'll talk about this later. Also, I have a lot of things to do next, so I may not have much time to do them." Tang Feng and Luo Yichuan looked at each other in disbelief. Fan Ping wanted to build a celestiality cultivation room? This was not a simple matter. It was actually very difficult for a Grand Master to maintain a continuous supply of the power of heaven and earth. They would need to spend a lot of time to recover from the depletion of their mental power. If one wanted to build a cultivation room that could allow people to cultivate, they would need at least 2 Grand Masters to take turns providing it. Furthermore, the amount of heaven and earth energy provided was actually limited. Could a rank 5 really do it? Fan Ping did not care about their doubts. If it was really built, these rank SIXS would definitely beg to enter. Now that I'm back, there are many things that I need to do. I need to reform MCMAU vigorously, so I hope that everyone can support me in doing so. As Fan Ping said that, he chuckled. Especially the 2 deans. Luo Yichuan and Tang Feng looked at each other. After a while, Luo Yichuan said, "If it's beneficial to MCMAU, we will support it." Fan Ping laughed. "Of course. Have I, Fan Ping, ever done anything that would harm MCMAU's interests? For example, Instructor Li broke through to rank 8, held a rank 1 martial arts competition, took the position of the top elite school, and expanded our school's industry. Speaking from the bottom of my heart, I, Fan Ping, only wish for MCMAU to be better. When have I ever harmed MCMAU?" Everyone was rendered speechless by these words. Including the following series of policies, it's all to make MCMAU stronger. I, Fan Ping, am not so selfless as to think that everyone in the world will have a good life. I can't care about it, I don't have the ability to. However, I believe that I still have the ability to make the students and teachers of MCMAU feel better. Right now, I'm only a rank 5. When I enter rank 6, rank 7, I'll definitely lead MCMAU further, more steadily, and better. A declaration to seize power? Qin Fengqing, who was at the side, muttered to himself. Mother Kerr, you really want to seize power? Fan Ping did not hide it. He said loudly, "What do you mean by seizing power? I respect the 3 vice-chancellors from the bottom of my heart. I hope they can focus on martial arts and improve further. Only now did I realize that without the 9th pin, I would be nothing. So what if he was a rank 8? If the rank 8 Commander Zhou encountered a rank 9, he would be done for. How many rank 9s were there in the catacombs? 2 rank 9s in one city. Magic City Catacombs. I've done a rough count. 26 rank 9s. How terrifying. The Vice-Chancellor was now a rank 8. Rank 9 was just around the corner. If he still wasted time on other things, would he have the time to cultivate and break through? When the Vice-Chancellor reaches rank 9 and can no longer improve, when that time comes and he has to step forward to manage these trivial matters, I can't wait to throw them all to him. Asked Instructor Tang, which is more important, cultivation or these trivial matters? Do martial artists cultivate for power? Tang Feng said with a straight face. Martial arts is the priority. All power is to serve the advancement of martial arts. This was Tang Feng's truest thought. What was power? Martial artists cultivated not to fight for power and profit, but to become stronger in martial arts, to pacify the catacombs. Luo Yichuan nodded slightly. For 100 years, All martial artists fought to become stronger, to pacify the catacombs. Power was only a point of leverage on the path of martial arts, not the end. Qin Fengqin, shut up. I won't say any more. I just know that everyone has been bewitched. Moreover, MC Meiyu's current situation was a little complicated. Li Changxing would support Fang Ping no matter what. Lu Polu. It was hard to say for now. However, in the catacombs, Lu Polu was generous with his praise for Fang Ping. Lu Polu did not care about power, so he would probably agree with Fang Ping. Huang Jing and Wu Quishan. It was hard to say for now. These two might not care about these things. Otherwise, they would not have given Fang Ping so many opportunities to expand their influence. MC Meiyu is really going to be Fang. Qin Fengqin had a clear understanding. Forget it. This old man should go to the House of Guardians and try being a resident city envoy. However, what about the Celestiality Cultivation Room and the Rank 5 Celestial Bridge Fusion? Qin Fengqin was a little conflicted. If he went to other places, there would be none. No one would guide him on how to fuse them. Currently, Fang Ping was the only one who had fused such an ugly celestial bridge. Fang Ping ignored him and continued. I can't continue this time. This time, I've offended a few rank 9 catacombs powerhouses. They will definitely kill me if I go down. However, the construction of this city is imminent. You guys can stay. Qin Fengqin, make a copy of the catacombs map and give it to everyone. Mark out which places have good stuff and powerhouses. In the catacombs, Qin Fengqin did not idle around. This guy was really a talent. At the very least, no matter how fast he ran, he could remember the place, the terrain, and the general situation. They ran for 3 days. After 3 days, Qin Fengqin had almost figured out the situation from the passageway to gigantic Willow City. Some places had benefits. He only cared about running and did not have time to look for them. Hearing Fang Ping asking him to draw, Qin Fengqin's expression changed. Fang Ping's gaze was dangerous. What? Do you have any objections? It's just drawing a map. Is it so difficult to contribute to the university? Can you bear to watch everyone go to their deaths? Can you bear to watch everyone gain nothing? Moreover, it's not good for us to go in now. If we're discovered, we'll be hunted down until we die. If you go in again, who knows when it'll be? Qin Fengqin looked helpless. After a while, he said, Then at least reward me with some benefits, right? Of course. MC Meiyu won't ask students to contribute to the university for free. That's not MC Meiyu's purpose. Things that rely on favors won't last long. People's hearts are easily dispersed. I'll make the decision and reward you with 300 credits. Do you have any objections now? Sure. Qin Fengqin agreed readily. 300 credits was not a small amount. Unexpectedly, Fang Ping found his conscience for once. Fang Ping did not care. It was only 300 credits. When Qin Fengqin sold his spoils of war to the university, the profit would be more or less earned back. Then, the credits had to be spent in the university. Over and over again, Qin Fengqin did not get any benefits. MC Meiyu's profit was Fang Ping's profit. It did not matter. Everyone did not do anything to Qin Fengqin, but they all showed gratitude to Fang Ping. Having a clear map would bring great benefits to everyone. You guys must be careful. Don't run around and don't get too close to gigantic Willow City. Also, the catacombs have just opened. Many villages and towns actually have small energy mines. Fang Ping looked at Luo Yichuan and said, Dean Luo, please take care of us this time. We were in too much of a hurry before and didn't have time to care about these. This time, after you lead the team in, try to dig some back. At the moment, everyone can't care about this. Before we came back, gigantic Willow City had actually implemented the policy of strengthening the city walls and clearing the fields. A large number of residents outside the city began to gather in Royal City. Now, a large number of their rank 6 martial artists have died in battle. At the moment, they can't take care of so many outer cities and towns. Once these people migrate, the energy mines won't be completely dug out. These people in Nanjiang's catacombs haven't realized yet that in the next few years, they might not be able to return. They won't do something like destroying their own foundation. Today, humans entered the catacombs for the first time. In the catacombs, especially the residents in the cities and towns, they would never think that they might not be able to return to their original land and live in this lifetime. Those villages and towns would usually have the existence of small energy mines, and these would only be obtained by the first batch of human forces when the catacombs opened. The later ones would almost have no chance. As for official forces like the military department, in the short term, they would focus on building the city. At this moment, Luo Yichuan had almost forgotten that Fan Ping was a student, and he was the dean. Upon hearing this, he immediately said, "Of course. This time, we will definitely dig more energy stones back." Tang Feng was also tempted. He said, "Then why don't I go down too? Forget about Instructor Tang. Your goal is still to break through at the moment." Tang Feng had already reached the stage of mentality-vitality fusion. He was close to rank 7. Fan Ping dared not let him go down now. If he died in battle, MC Mayu would have one less Grandmaster. Although it was very realistic, this was the real situation. Even those rank SIXS who entered before generally had no hope of breaking through. Those who really had a chance of breaking through would not enter in the early stage. All of you, be careful. Pay attention to your safety. Fan Ping looked at these students. Right now, the passageway was relatively safe. Perhaps the next time it stabilized, these people would enter. Fan Ping did not think of letting them all go back. There was no need for that. Martial artists had to seize opportunities themselves. Now that the catacombs had just opened, there were really many opportunities. Gigantic Willow City had also suffered heavy losses. They would not attack rashly in the short term. This time difference was also the best time for them to move. Everyone nodded. Fan Ping glanced at Qingyunqi from the corner of his eye but did not say anything. While Fan Ping was making arrangements for everyone. Magic City. Mekmao. Lu Fengru returned to school covered in injuries. As soon as she returned to the villa, Liang Fenghua, who stayed behind, ran in excitedly, saying loudly, "Instructor, you're finally back. Good news." "What's wrong?" Lu Fengru was a little tired. Liang Fenghua was not the kind of person who could not sit still. Junior Fan came out of Nanjiang's catacombs and broke through to rank 5. He also helped Instructor Li break through to rank 8. Lu Fengru suddenly felt a little tired. "Are you kidding me? I fought for my life in the catacombs. I haven't even reached rank 7 yet." Li Changxing rank 8? Yes. Who said that? Everyone said it. Also, when he came out of the catacombs, Instructor Li showed his golden body. The whole Nanjiang martial arts world knew about it. Meng Yao said that Junior Fang seized life essence in the catacombs royal city and let Instructor Li consume a few hundred caddies. Then he broke through. Wait. What's that? Life essence is energy essence. Lu Fengru's expression changed. She asked immediately. How much? A few hundred caddies. Lu Fengru suddenly gritted her teeth. Her embarrassment turned into anger. What a Li Changxing! What a Fan Ping! Old! She did not curse, but Lu Fengru really could not hold it in. Bastard, whose student are you? She was almost beaten to death in the catacombs. All she wanted was to find an energy mine and go in to absorb some high concentration energy. She did not even dare to think about energy essence. In the end, that student of hers went to find energy essence for Li Changxing. She was so angry that her liver hurt. She did not worry about scarcity, but about inequality. Fan Ping did not get it. Lu Fengru did not think much of it. Cultivation depended on oneself. How could she rely on her own student? But Fan Ping got it, and gave it to that bastard Li Changxing. Lu Fengru felt like killing someone. Rank 7. How many years had she yearned for it? These two bastards, did they not know how to leave some for herself? Lu Fengru felt that her heart could not take it. It was too much of a blow. Her heart was broken. Fan Ping really got his hands on life essence? No. Lu Fengru suddenly did not have the mood to rest. She wanted to go to Nanjiang and catch those two. Others aside, she could not let that bastard old Manly take advantage of her. Before she finished speaking, Lu Fengru did not care about Liang Fenghua anymore. She turned around and left. To Nanjiang. Liang Fenghua was confused. What was wrong with the teacher? On this day, Nanjiang auspicious pieces martial artists spent their days in joy. Even the central government specially held a meeting of the Titans for this matter. The stronghold of the Nanjiang catacombs was conquered. Not only that, they almost blew up a royal city. Fan Ping's name also appeared in the eyes of the Titans for the first time. In the past, although Fan Ping was also a prodigy and the president of MC Meiyu's martial arts society, he was not considered a low-level figure. However, no matter how outstanding he was still a young man, a martial artist who had just entered the middle rank. There were prodigies in martial arts universities every year. The Titans really did not have the time to pay attention to a young man who had just emerged. But now, someone was paying attention. A middle-rank martial artist who had invaded the royal city and destroyed half of the royal city was worthy of attention. Of course, they only remembered Fan Ping as a person. They also remembered his breath concealment technique. At this moment, the central government had also sent someone to check and consult. This was not a small matter. In fact, it was more important than Li Changxin condensing a rank 8 golden body. Not to mention that he was not a real rank 8. Even if he was a real rank 8, the impact on the war situation would not be that big. On the contrary, this kind of breath concealment technique would really have an earth-shattering impact. Lu Fengru rushed over, and there were powerhouses coming from the central government too. Fan Ping was not aware of any of these. At this moment, after Fan Ping had sent the others away, he saw Qin Yunxi, who was deliberately left here by everyone, and felt a slight headache. Seeing this woman's head lowered, not saying a word, and a little embarrassed, Fan Ping felt a headache coming on. After a while he said, "For martial artists of our generation there is no tomorrow. Especially for people like me, who can't say for sure which catacombs I will die in one day. The catacombs are not fair, we are afraid, and we are in danger. Instead of living in fear day and night after I enter the catacombs, it's better to cut off those thoughts as soon as possible. It's the same for me. If you enter the catacombs and die in the catacombs one day, it will be a blow to me too. Yunxi, although you have a grandmaster grandfather, your grandfather can't protect you forever. Before we have the ability to protect ourselves, we don't have to think about these things." Qin Yunxi lifted her head and looked at him. She was not upset, and said softly, "I know. I will work hard to cultivate, and strive to be worthy of you." Fan Ping's face fell instantly. "I have already said this. Shouldn't you be heartbroken, then turn and leave, crying endlessly, and when you see me in the future you will let out a loud humph and leave without looking back? What's with this strive to be worthy of you exclamation point? Girls, can't you be more reserved?" Fan Ping felt a headache coming on. After a long time he said, "We'll see. Don't do stupid things next time. What's the use of standing for 5 days? With these 5 days, if you cultivate more, you might achieve peak rank 3. In this era, cultivating and becoming stronger are the first things you should do. Everything else is a small matter. Even if you die standing, I will still die in the catacombs. Do you think you can revive someone standing? Do you understand what I mean?" Qin Yunxi nodded and said softly, "Then I will cultivate hard in the future, strive to become stronger, and accompany you to the catacombs." Fan Ping sighed. "Girls, be more reserved, be more reserved. Fortunately, your grandfather is not here. If he is, will he hack me to death?" Seeing that Qin Yunxi was about to leave, Fan Ping felt his heart ache. Suddenly, he gave her a slap and said impatiently, "Go, I want to rest." Qin Yunxi was at a loss at first, then a bright smile appeared on her face. Chapter 393. Li Changxing. A few hours later. Old Man Li was confused. Was he hallucinating again? He looked around. Wu Quishan was nowhere to be seen. Old Man Li breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he was not here for revenge. Old Man Li chuckled and said, "Oh, Fengru, why are you here?" Lu Fengru saw his happy smile and felt that something was not right. She snorted. "You broke through rank 8? Probably. Old Man Li's tone was uncertain. It was not easy to fool an acquaintance. Was he a rank 8? Of course not. However, Old Man Li would not admit that he was a rank 6. If he said he was a rank 8, he was a rank 8. Probably? Lu Fengru frowned slightly. What kind of answer was that? She was already unhappy with this old man. Hearing his perfunctory answer, Lu Fengru did not waste any more time. Her fist was as fast as lightning, blasting forward instantly. Clang! A clear sound reverberated through the air. Lu Fengru took a few steps back. Her fist trembled slightly. She gritted her teeth and said, "You're good!" The old man had really forged a golden body. Old Man Li dusted his clothes lightly, his expression calm and relaxed. He let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was his fist. If he had used his mentality, he would have been exposed, even if Lu Fengru's mentality did not hurt him much. He smiled reservedly. Old Man Li coughed softly and said, "It's just SOSO. Your student is still the best. Fengru, you've taken in a good student." What a stab! The corners of Lu Fengru's eyes kept twitching. "That kid, is he really my student? Are you sure he's not yours?" Lu Fengru took a deep breath and suppressed her urge to beat this guy to death. She asked urgently, "Is it really life essence?" "Yes." "A few hundred caddies?" "Not really," Old Man Li denied. He then said, "Actually, he probably absorbed a few dozen caddies. The rest has all evaporated." Lu Fengru panted slightly for a moment. At this moment, she really wanted to beat this old man to death. "Do you have more?" "None," Old Man Li denied immediately. He then smiled and said, "I don't have any, but that kid Fang Ping might have more. He might have hidden some." Old Man Li had no qualms about betraying Fang Ping. That brat had consumed quite a lot of life essence, so he wouldn't need it for the time being. As for breaking through to the Supreme Power Realm, what that guy lacked now was not energy but time. Lu Fengru's breakthrough was imminent. Old Man Li felt that if Fang Ping really had it, it would be more worthwhile for him to help Lu Fengru break through instead of wasting it on himself. Lu Fengru looked fierce and cold, but that was not the case. If Fang Ping helped her break through now, he would owe her a big favor. Lu Fengru would not let him suffer any losses. As soon as Old Man Li finished speaking, Lu Fengru disappeared. The moment she saw the old man, she wanted to hammer him to death. However, considering that the old man had broken through, she was afraid that she would not be able to kill him. After some consideration, she decided to let the old man go for now. Seeing that Lu Fengru had left, Old Man Li heaved a sigh of relief once again. She came so fast, and she was still as tough as ever. What was he thinking in the afternoon? Was he out of his mind? In the tent. At this moment, Fang Ping was talking to a few of Nanjiang's higher-ups. Zhang Dingnan, the commander of the Nanjiang military region, and Wang Jinyang were all there. On MC Meiyu's side, other than Fang Ping, Luo Yichuan and Tang Feng were there too. As they were talking, inside the tent, Tang Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. The next moment, Lu Fengru pushed the door open and entered. Fang Ping was slightly surprised to see Lu Fengru. Then, he got up and smiled. "Instructor, why are you here?" "Don't worry about me, I'm fine." Lu Fengru shot him a look. "Am I worried about you?" She had just come out from Magic City's catacombs. She had only just found out that Fang Ping had entered the catacombs. Fang Ping really knew how to flatter himself. Ignoring Fang Ping, Lu Fengru glanced around. When she saw Zhang Dingnan, whose face was still pale, she frowned slightly. "Not dead?" Zhang Dingnan chuckled softly. I'm lucky. You're pretty lucky. Lu Fengre let out a soft humph. Then, she asked, how's your injury? It's all right. I'll be fine after resting for a while. I know you won't die. The two of them talked as if there was no one else around. Fang Ping was shocked. What was going on? Were these two really having an affair? Since when did old Lu care about others? She would even ask if his injury was serious? If Wu Quishan was seriously injured, Lu Fengre might not even ask, right? A long time ago, he had heard from Lu Fengre that Zhang Dingnan had also been drooling over her. Could it be true? Big news. Fan Ping's face was full of shock, but the others did not make a sound, as if they did not hear anything. Luo Yichuan and Tang Feng pretended not to see anything. Lu Fengru and Zhang Dingnan had a good relationship. They had been friends for many years. If not, it would not be strange for Zhang Dingnan, a Nanjiang governor, to have his combat techniques appear in NMAU. Why would he appear in MCMAU? Every school had combat techniques, and grandmasters usually didn't keep them to themselves. However, grandmasters' combat techniques could not be spread around. If they were to spread it, it would be a huge loss for them to teach evil teachings. The two of them did not say much. After Lu Fengru and Zhang Dingnan had finished their small talk, she said, Talk? Yes, you came just in time. Sit down and listen. Zhang Dingnan smiled and invited her to sit. Lu Fengru did not stand on ceremony. She immediately pulled out Fang Ping's chair and sat down. Fang Ping looked helpless. There were still empty seats. Why did she snatch mine? He had no choice but to find another empty seat and sit down. Zhang Dingnan continued the previous topic, saying, Nanjiang's economy is not very strong, and the martial arts cultivation environment is only average. Now that Nanjiang's catacombs has opened, if it continues like this, Nanjiang will be in danger. Before this, Fang Ping and NMAU have talked about collaborating. This time, what I mean is that we can collaborate, but not just against NMAU. Zhang Dingnan probably saw that Lu Fengre had just arrived, so he said a few more words. Fang Ping waited for him to finish before saying, We all understand what the governor means, but I don't think it's necessary for MCMAU to open a specially recruited class, right? NMAU can totally train Nanjiang's local martial artists. Zhang Dingnan said bitterly. NMAU is in a lot of trouble now. Vice-Chancellor Chen died in battle. It's still hard to say if they can find a high-ranked powerhouse to oversee NMAU. Even the Department of Education might not be able to appoint a high-ranked powerhouse to take over. In addition, with the opening of the catacombs, some of NMAU's instructors have to oversee the catacombs. Current teaching has been seriously affected. If we open a class to train casual martial artists, it'll be even more difficult. Actually, this kind of training doesn't take much effort. It's mainly to deepen the casual martial artist's understanding of the catacombs. This includes learning the catacombs language, the cultivation of some combat techniques, and of course, some practical knowledge of the catacombs. Nanjiang's catacombs has just opened. Currently, the construction of the city is still in preparation. That's why I want to let some martial artists enter Magic City's catacombs for practice. There's not even a place to stay here in Nanjiang. Also, MCMAU's teaching environment is better, including cultivation places like the energy room and vitality pool. Luo Yichuan frowned and said, Governor Zhang, these facilities are already not enough for our MCMAU instructors and students. The collaboration that Zhang Dingnan was talking about included opening these facilities to Nanjiang's martial artists. Nanjiang did not build these. This was not a small amount of money. MCMAU allocated tens of billions every year. In fact, a lot of it was used for the construction of these facilities. Other things aside, the energy room looked simple. Burning a few energy stones to make the energy more concentrated and help everyone cultivate. Fang Ping had actually been looking at the energy stones. Little did he know that the real expensive part was the energy room itself. Every cultivation room could not let energy leak. The cost of building such a cultivation room alone was extremely high. The raw materials for the surrounding walls were not ordinary materials. Construction materials that could shield the release of energy. In terms of cost alone, it was not lower than the value of B-class alloy. It was made from energy crystals after a large amount of energy had been released, fused with some rare metals. Fan Ping did not care about these. That was because his judgment was lacking. In fact, the cost of MCMAU's energy room was at least more than 10 billion. This did not include the annual maintenance costs and the purchase of some high-end equipment, such as the energy release settings. These were all extremely expensive products. Nanjiang did not have the catacombs in the past. The government did not consider building this either. It was too expensive. The cost of tens of billions and a large amount of energy stones were needed. Even if it was built, they would not have enough energy stones to use. Currently, among the martial arts universities and military schools, only CCMAU, MCMAU, and First Military School had such facilities. Other martial arts universities, including other second-tier schools, did not build it. The vitality pool was the same. Not to mention, they had to capture catacombs powerhouses as raw materials for supply. Even if Nanjiang wanted to build it now, it would not be something that could be done in a short time. Moreover, funds were also a problem. Their finances were not abundant. Zhang Dingnan was not surprised by Luo Yichuan's words. He smiled and said, Dean Luo, MCMAU's energy stones are also limited. Those facilities are not always activated, and they are always overcrowded. The energy stones and other materials consumed will be provided by Nanjiang itself, not by MCMAU. Moreover, if this cooperation can be achieved, the annual output of Nanjiang's catacombs in the future, not to mention the military department, a part of the output of Nanjiang's martial artists can be used as tuition fees and the use of the venue. Honestly, this is a win-win situation for both parties. Nanjiang is not the only one benefiting. In fact, we can also cooperate with CCMAU or other institutions, including building our own facilities. Fan Ping smiled and continued. Governor, not to mention Nanjiang's current financial difficulties, whether they can fork out so much funds to build their own facilities. Even if they can, the price-performance ratio is not high. Do you think there is much hope in cooperating with institutions like CCMAU, Governor? Of course, the central government also has many such facilities, but the central government is also cultivating martial artists. If Nanjiang's casual martial artists want to enter, I'm afraid it will not be easy. Zhang Dingnan smiled and said, Let's not beat around the bush. Whatever conditions MCMAU has, you can state them. Then I'll be straightforward. Fan Ping did not stand on ceremony and said, First, MCMAU can open a special recruitment class, no problem, but there is a limit to the number of people, no more than 300 every year. Those who are lower than rank 2 don't have to come, it's a waste of Nanjiang's limited resources. Second, MCMAU's facilities can be open to Nanjiang martial artists, but all expenses, including the venue fees, will be borne by them. Third, all expenses, including tuition fees, venue fees, training fees, materials fees. MCMAU will not accept cash, nothing else. Everything will be paid with herbs, energy stones, and rare metals. The price will be based on the purchase price of a few major companies. Fourth, students who enter MCMAU's special recruitment class, including Nanjiang Martial Arts University students, can order our pills and weapons from MCMAU's official website. They will not be paid with cash, but with various raw materials. This is MCMAU's benefit for Nanjiang. Of course, the price will not be the same as for MCMAU students. As Fan Ping said that, he smiled and said, Just these few points. They are actually not considered difficult. This is also because Nanjiang is my hometown. I can't bear to see the martial artists from my hometown. Fan Ping. Wang Jinyang interrupted him slightly helplessly. After a while he said, We're all from Nanjiang. Now that Nanjiang is already in a precarious situation, you're kind of adding insult to injury, President Wang. Fan Ping changed the way he addressed him, shook his head and said, You're wrong, I'm providing timely help. Business is business. Of course, this is not considered a business cooperation, but we still have to distinguish between public and private interests. MCMAU is not a unit under Nanjiang's jurisdiction. MCMAU has MCMAU's responsibility, and MCMAU is not a place where I, Fan Ping, have the final say. I'm only a student, and everything I'm doing now is actually fighting for Nanjiang's interests. This is already biased. A few vice-chancellors, including a few deans, originally did not agree to it. Actually, on this point, all the martial arts universities have the same attitude. Think about it from another perspective. If NMAU had these conditions, would they open it to the public? It's not that we're narrow-minded, it's that our conditions are really limited, and we're already tight on meeting our own needs. If we open up a portion to the public, this will cause a series of negative effects. Governor, you should know that the points I've mentioned are actually not meant to make things difficult for Nanjiang. Zhang Dingnan was slightly helpless. Even if he was a grandmaster powerhouse, at this moment, he felt like he was under the eaves and had no choice but to lower his head. The points that Fang Ping had mentioned were not actually harsh. However, everything was based on the catacombs' raw materials as the standard of settlement. Just this point alone was a huge problem. This was blatantly robbing the business of a few major companies, and Fan Ping's meaning was also very clear. This trouble needed to be handled by Nanjiang themselves. Nanjiang's martial artists insisted on using these things to make up for it, not MCMAU. They could not possibly refuse what they were offering, could they? The key point was not anywhere else, but how Zhang Dingnan was going to settle these troubles and achieve the cooperation. The output of Nanjiang's martial artists might enter MCMAU's warehouse in the future. This was not a small matter. Zhang Dingnan's original meaning was that the consumption of the energy room and the vitality pool would be paid for with raw materials, but not everything. It also did not include MCMAU opening up its own exchange system to the public. In reality, this was already MCMAU selling these outputs in disguise. The other powerhouses of MCMAU did not speak, obviously tacitly agreeing with Fang Ping's statement. If they could really purchase the catacombs output obtained by Nanjiang's martial artists, and then produce and sell them, one must know that pills and weapons were both profiteering industries. Even if they sold them at a slightly lower price than the major companies, it would still be a crazy profitable business. They did not want money, they only wanted raw materials. This was MCMAU's only request, and also the biggest trouble. Zhang Dingnan tapped the table lightly. After a while, he said, "Actually, the pill and weapon companies also have corresponding training institutions and cultivation facilities." Fang Ping laughed. "I know, but to put it bluntly, these major companies are not professional training units. If Nanjiang's martial artists really go to them, who knows what they will be taught? Moreover, because the major companies are in a monopoly position, the conditions they offer will only be harsher than ours. Moreover, everything now is temporary. I believe that, because of the existence of the catacombs, it will not be long before Nanjiang's martial artists enter a period of rapid growth. Very soon, there will be a large number of talents and powerhouses. When that time comes, Nanjiang can prepare everything on its own, no longer needing to rely on external forces. It's just a short-term cooperation, but if Nanjiang relies on the major companies now, then it will always have to rely on them in the future. Nanjiang's martial artists will become workers for the major companies in the future. The existence of the major companies is a good thing, I don't deny this. In a situation where resources are limited, the major companies are actually meritorious by concentrating resources, unifying production, and supplying the whole country. Fang Ping said seriously. No one will deny this point. In the early days, the major companies made a great contribution to the prosperity and rise of martial artists. Including those profits, in the end, all went into the government's finance. That's why there are hundreds of billions of martial arts university funding and trillions of military department funding every year. But that was in the past. At that time, there were fewer entrances to the catacombs, and fewer outputs. But now, there are as many as 23 entrances to the catacombs, and the major companies are still in a monopoly position. Actually, it is no longer just for the sake of martial arts for all. At this time, actually, we should not continue to monopolize. Instead, we should reduce the cost of cultivating martial artists, so that more martial artists and powerhouses can emerge. In the past, cultivating a rank 1 martial artist required at least 1 million, or even more. How many civilian families could afford it? The price of pills is high and never goes down. It only goes up and never goes down. But in reality? In reality, our output is increasing every year. It is true that the opening of the catacombs entrance is a crisis, but it is also an opportunity for mankind. Moreover, we are actually doing artificial cultivation of some raw materials ourselves. Now, the energy concentration on Earth has increased. The pill companies have already set up many cultivation bases for medicinal herbs. But now, they are still constantly squeezing the benefits that martial artists deserve. This is basically neglecting the essentials for the sake of the trifles. I think the central government has also considered this point. That is why MC Mayu's request to expand the on-campus production line was approved. MC Mayu has started. I think that in the future, this kind of situation will continue to appear and continue to increase. Nanjiang must also be prepared for this. That is why Nanjiang cannot rely on the major companies blindly, but must consider Nanjiang's own interests. Fan Ping said a lot, and everyone listened in silence. Wang Jinyang and the others felt that it was quite reasonable, but Zhang Dingnan felt a little bitter. It was easy to say, and the logic was also reasonable. The key was that it was difficult to put into practice. Nanjiang's martial arts strength was not strong to begin with. It was not that easy to achieve self-sufficiency. Taking a deep breath, Zhang Dingnan pondered for a long time. Finally, he said, "I can agree to what you said, but you have to think about it carefully. If this happens, MCMAU will also become a public target." Fang Ping said nonchalantly. "If you want to become stronger, you'll have to violate the taboos of those with vested interests. But I believe that the central government still understands these principles. The government actually has the intention to reform. I believe that many people can see this. If you want everyone to learn martial arts, if you want more martial artists and powerhouses, the most basic point is to reduce the cost of cultivation. That is inevitable. Even if we do not steal business, the major companies will still have to lower their prices in the future. MCMAU is just the beginning. If the major companies, including some beneficiaries, really feel that MCMAU has violated taboos and robbed their interests, they will not do anything openly. At most, they will find some trouble in private. However, MCMAU is not afraid of anything. Do you think they will really dare to go to war with us? If they can't, then they can only suppress us through some channels, such as reducing the supply to us. However, when that time comes, MCMAU will not care about their supply. Actually, they are just paper tigers. Unless they risk universal condemnation and directly attack us. The key is that MCMAU is the top elite school. They have to think about the consequences. Zhang Dingnan said quietly. What about you? Me? Fang Ping chuckled. If they want to attack me, then they have to think about the consequences. Not to mention that I am not that easy to deal with. Even if they can, they have to think about whether it is that easy to withstand the wrath of several Grandmaster powerhouses. As he said that, Fang Ping tilted his head and said, Dean Li has broken through. Next, Dean Tang will also break through soon. My instructor will also break through soon. This includes Vice-Chancellor Chen from SCMAU, the other 3 Grandmasters from MCMAU, and even some of MCMAU's seniors who have graduated. Also, powerhouses like you, Governor General Zhang, who have the heart to change. Will they be indifferent? I, Fang Ping, am nothing, but after I am dealt with, countless people will emerge. This is not my personal matter, but the entire martial arts world's matter. Tang Feng said in a low voice. This is MCMAU's matter, not a personal matter. If anyone dares to attack, then don't blame us for ignoring the big picture. Frontline martial artists are in a precarious situation. Back then was back then. It was only right for frontline soldiers to contribute more. They should contribute for the prosperity of martial arts. But now, it is time for change. If the price of martial arts cultivation is not lowered, how can more martial artists emerge? How difficult it is for a civilian family to produce a martial artist! 23 catacombs entrances have opened, not just one or two like back then. Since the government is prepared to make the catacombs public, then they must give civilians the hope of becoming martial artists, instead of just publicizing the news and doing nothing. How much is the raw material for a normal vitality pill? Even if you add in various expenses, the final price will not exceed 30,000. Right now, the selling price is 100,000. How many families can afford it? MC Mayu cultivates martial artists, not only those martial artists who are passed down from generation to generation. We actually hope that there will be a large number of civilian students and civilian martial artists. Martial artists should not be products of the privileged class. Reform is imperative. Fan Ping could not help but glance sideways. Big Lion was really good at talking. He had not realized it before. This big lion was not playing dumb, was he? Zhang Dingnan glanced at the people of MC Mayu and said no more. MC Mayu having this intention was a good thing for the martial arts world. As for how the major companies would weigh it, it was none of his business. MC Mayu was not to be trifled with. They had a few grandmasters, and there were also many grandmasters who had graduated. They were much stronger than Nanjiang. Zhang Dingnan felt that there was a high chance that the major companies would pinch their noses and accept it. Would they really start a war with MC Mayu? If that happened, MC Mayu would not have to do anything. The central government and the military department would destroy them. Both parties had reached an agreement, which meant that the cooperation between Nanjiang and MC Mayu had officially begun. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.